I hit. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another EpicVerse Uncaged episode. Look, one of these weeks we'll be here on time, guys. But it is not this week. It is not this week. We are late once again, all because of Ben. But you guys know that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes.
I'm sorry.
So, you know, it is what it is. But we are happy to be here with you guys tonight. Hope everyone in the chat is doing well. Hope everyone on the panel is doing well, too. And Ben, have you gotten a new camera yet?
No. No more questions.
Oh. Okay. Weird.
All right. Ben really wanted to talk about Stranger Things again, but we keep telling him we can't do it.
Yeah.
He's like, please let us do another tier list with Stranger Things.
You told him no? No, Ben.
But it's good to be here with everyone tonight. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
Good, man.
Good.
We're here doing our thing, you know, living the dream.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Chaz, how are you?
Well, I'm here. I'm doing okay. I got Blade. Obviously, I ordered parts to make a custom Blade for everyone, and some people don't feel like when you pay for something, they need to ship it out right away. So
just taking their sweet time on that,
dude.
huh?
It's been a week, and they just shipped stuff.
Oh,
I'm like, come on,
that's crazy.
We
What are
love
we doing?
Ben, how are you doing tonight?
I'm living somebody's dream.
Yes. Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm here. I'm happy.
But why aren't you living your dream, Ben? Why aren't you living? What is your dream, Ben?
I don't know if I'll
What
ever
is your
live-
dream?
I don't know if I'll ever live my dream.
What does that mean?
I just don't know if I'll ever live it.
You want to live someone else's dream the rest of your life, Ben? Is that what we're doing?
No, that's just where I'm stuck. Someday,
You got to get unstuck, bro. You got to pull out.
Too many yachts.
someday I'll be big enough so you can't.
Well, Ben's not really great about that. That's why he has like 15 kids.
Yeah. My pull-out game isn't strong. Sorry. It just happens.
I respect it,
But hey, I'm here. I'm reading a book for the first time in forever. I'm vibing. And that's about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
What book are you reading?
Percy Jackson. It's a reread.
That's great.
Yeah.
Of all the books in the entire universe.
Well, my wife wanted to read it, and I was like, you know what? I'll read it at the same time. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Setting up a little spot on the beach next to your yacht,
Bro, I
reading,
wish. My goodness. If I could be on the Caribbean Sea right now, I would be. Right? It's my favorite place on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm not. So I'll take what I can
The Caribbean Sea is your favorite place on
Literally my favorite place on Earth.
Earth? Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I believe we have a graphic
I could
novel
s-
coming out pretty soon that takes place near there, known as Daughter's Revenge. Check that out.
Wow, pirates.
Nice. There you go. Shout out. Shout out.
Oh
out.
yeah.
We should have gotten Jay on. Why didn't we get Jay on? Oh well. One of these times.
Yeah, why didn't we get Jay on?
We probably should have done that.
Oh man. I don't
Maybe
know, man.
next week. Maybe next week we'll have Jay on. We'll see what
There
we
you go.
can
It's
do.
a good plan.
Yeah.
I like that plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Nate, how are you doing tonight?
Doing great. The movie's getting views. We got Godzilla news. We got retarded artists doing political art that nobody asked for. You know, it's been great.
Yeah, I mean, artists just being artists, that's just the way to go. So yeah, but so I saw that you posted something about Godzilla in our chat and stuff. Are you like
Yeah.
have you watched this Apple TV show? This
I have.
Legacy of Monsters or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I'm very so on it because it's got some cool ideas, but it's also got the gay, and it's got the beta males. It's got the just absolutely shelving the monsters for the human story, and it's a human story that it's the type of thing that nobody likes. It's not like the -1 type of storytelling where it's actually like kind of grounded and deep and meaningful. It's more like there's some decent stuff in there because there's like time dilation that they deal with. But other than that, there's a lot of crap that nobody really asked for, and it's just a lot of boring garbage. And I think fans are predicting it's going to be the same thing with this next one, even though the trailer, it looks cool. It looks like some eye candy, but that's how trailers work. But you can see I got all these Godzilla toys on the shelf here. Like that's like my thing. So
Nice.
I'm somewhat looking forward to that show. And we also got -0 coming out this year, by the way.
That was true.
Announced.
Yeah. Mhm.
Or at least the date was recently announced, and that's going to be awesome, I hope.
Oh man, yeah, I have no doubts that it'll be pretty awesome. So
Yeah, I think the rumor is there's going to be an actual like monster for him to fight in this one too, and that'll be the first time that Toho's made a Godzilla movie where he fights a monster since Final Wars in 2004. So that's going to be really interesting to see how they handle that as opposed to the American studios.
Mm-hmm. That will be pretty interesting. How do you feel about the the MonsterVerse movies?
I like it overall, and like I said, they're just a lot of eye candy. The human crap is nothing to really foam at the mouth for, especially with King of the Monsters when somebody can't even say the word Ghidorah without saying gonorrhea. Like, we need to get that shit out of there, please. Like, especially after -1 now, I hope they were inspired to make more serious writing. But apparently the test screenings for the new Godzilla X Kong film had children in them, so I'm not sure if that means the movie's going to be kid-friendly or what.
Oh, I hope not. Jeez.
But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, all those movies are kind of kid-friendly.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
that's true. Yeah.
Like they're not like super hardcore or something.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah,
but-
yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, they should be hardcore. Honestly, like
It should be, yeah.
Well, I don't know, but the monster movies have always, like Godzilla, at least I feel like kids, like younger kids, preteens have been watching those for decades at this point. So I feel like you can't ostracize that audience necessarily.
Yeah, I get that. And their action figures that they have in stores are like $10, like really
Yeah,
cheap.
like, they
very
wanna
much meant
sell
for kids.
stuff.
And yeah, it's just at the same time, I wish they would kind of ground things more, take things a
I
little bit
would
more
love
seriously than they do.
to see a Godzilla movie where Godzilla's ripping limbs off of people and ripping limbs off of monsters and stuff. That'd be sick. I don't
Was
think they're
there
ever gonna
like
do that.
anything that was like that in -1? Because I thought it was a little bit more like brutal, I guess, than
Like-
the American ones. But
Like gore and shit? I don't think so.
Not really. No, it was still PG-13, I think. Yeah.
I think the story just felt a little heavier than
The
the
story is a lot more mature than anything we've gotten in America, which is probably why it felt that way.
Yeah,
The
I
stake
think it worked.
there really aren't stakes in the American like recent Godzilla movies. There's really no stakes whatsoever for
yeah.
anybody. So like
Just
you
kind
don't
of a
really
build up
feel
to a
peril.
monster fight, basically.
Yeah, but pretty much. I mean, and don't get me wrong, like going to watch that in IMAX, I get exactly what I came for.
Yeah,
I came to watch giant CGI monsters beat the crap out of each other. That's what I get.
To a certain extent, they tried to when they got Bryan Cranston, but then like he was only in like part of the movie.
Yeah, that was awful. What an awful decision to kill him off like that.
Right.
The first Godzilla movie was the only one that had any sort of substance in it story-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since then, it's just kind of been like, oh, I'm here for the monsters and not much else. Mm-hmm. And I'll watch it for the monsters, but that's it.
I mean, the first one I think is still my favorite, to be honest. Of
I would say that, and then I actually really like Godzilla King of the Monsters, the one with Ghidorah and Mothra and all the other.
The one with gonorrhea,
yeah. That one's actually pretty sweet, just because I enjoyed seeing all those monsters on screen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that and the first for sure are the best. The first one is easily the best from a storytelling perspective.
I thought it had a really good balance of like the human perspective, like with Godzilla as well. Yeah. So,
and Godzilla wasn't in the movie very much. And when he was, because he wasn't as in the movie as much, I feel like it made his scenes more impactful. Similar to how Godzilla -1 did. You know, we spent a lot of time with the humans, but then when Godzilla was in the movie, it was very impactful for those brief moments that he was there. Yeah, really well done.
I will say, I think the soundtrack for Godzilla 2014 is pretty bad. I think it sounds like nails on a chalkboard to me. I've always thought that ever since I first listened to it. I can't listen to that. And the only song in that film that I kind of tolerate isn't in the soundtrack, because that's how it goes, right?
Yeah. I don't remember the music too much, to be honest.
I don't either.
There's a reason for that.
I'm rewatching them again sometime soon with my daughter and son. I think they'd enjoy them, but yeah.
They got that first one out on 4K now.
Nice. That'll look good.
Yeah, that was a film that I followed since like 2009. I remember all the rumors and shit. Like Legendary came out and they announced they were making it, and then we finally got all the teasers for Comic-Con 2013. There was this whole setup that they did over there with like a preview little like expedition that you can go on as a fan that no cameras were allowed in. So there was this one little hidden footage that was released, and it was Godzilla walking next to this window, and that's like all we got as fans in terms of like what this movie's vibe was going to be and what the design was going to be. It was so cool. And then the trailer actually leaked. The Comic-Con trailer leaked, I believe, somewhere towards the end of that year in 2013. And so it was shortly after that they released like a slightly edited version of that for real. It was a really cool time. Just all the leaks and the rumors going around.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. The Skull Island film is interesting.
That's the one with Tom Hiddleston in it, right?
Yeah, I love anything to do with Skull Island. Like I love the whole like expedition, people going to an island and then they just get like massacred by crazy monsters there. Like I think that's pretty fun. So Peter Jackson is his King Kong film. I think his Skull Island sequence is still my favorite, like with the weird bugs that are like on the island, and I
think his version of Skull Island
and all that shit it's pretty fun. So
his version of Skull Island is so much better than the 2017 one, the MonsterVerse one, because there's a lot of variety in his version, and just the color palette that he would use on all these different shots, and you can see all of these ancient structures all over the island. It just makes your imagination go wild. Like, what happened here? Who built these? And not only do you have monsters and like basically kaiju on the island, but you have dinosaurs too. And in my opinion, Skull Island, I think, is just Skull Island in 2017 is inferior because not only because there's no dinosaurs. I think dinosaurs are key to King Kong's like aura in his franchise. He needs to have dinosaurs, and there were none in that film. And honestly, like Skull Island was just, I think it was filmed in Hawaii, the MonsterVerse one. So it literally just looked like Hawaii. It didn't really look like Skull Island to me. And when it came to all the monsters they were showing off, it was more like, okay, here's a creature. All right, next, here's another creature. Next, here's another creature. It felt like they were used just for the sake of having creatures and not for the sake of like crafting a cool story around the creatures, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of like the more kind of like leaning a little bit into like the horror vibe that Peter Jackson has going on too. I think that's pretty fun. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the build up to Kong
I mean,
finally showing up and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, like the bug
Yeah.
sequence is still like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I love it.
Yeah,
so
was
much. I
it
remember seeing
Andy
that for the first
Serkis
time.
that Andy
Yeah.
Serkis was the one that got eaten by the worm thing, I think. That was terrifying.
Yep. His
Yeah,
like head gets swallowed and he's
Oh,
still,
yeah.
like swinging around and stuff.
Ugh.
And, dude, it's it's great.
I don't know if you guys ever played this game here, but this is a banger, man. We never get products like this anymore. And this is Ubisoft, by the way. This piece of shit company made this masterpiece back in 2005. This is an incredible piece of art, man.
Well, Ubisoft
Really
was
good.
making good games back.
Did you
in
play
the
that,
early
Josiah?
2000s.
No.
Really?
Nope.
Dude, I would even argue, even like now, it would be worth playing.
Really?
It's
Wow.
great, yeah.
Do you play
It-
as King Kong or do you play
can,
as
yeah.
like
You play as both. You play as Adrian Brody's character.
what? That's crazy.
And so it starts out as a first person shooter. And you have to go through the island and you like fight. I don't know. I don't remember if you fight like have to deal with the natives themselves, but I know you
No.
like there's monsters and bugs and all kinds of things. And then partway through the game, it switches over to King Kong and you have to like fight the T-Rexes and
Mm-hmm.
run around as King Kong for a while. And then it switches back to like first person perspective as they're on the island and stuff. Dude, I will say this, it's actually pretty damn good. And even
Yeah.
for a game that was released, what year was that came
That was
out?
like 20, 21 years
2005.
ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the gameplay still holds up. Like
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
very
most of
bare
those
bones,
like
too, like-
games that are like based on like movies and stuff were not that great. They did it like all the time back in the day.
yes.
But
This one's
so
amazing.
that's probably why. Well, I think the main reason why I avoided it was because it was an Xbox game, and I didn't have an Xbox.
Well, it came out on previous
So-
gen too. It had
That
actually
sucked,
the
man.
graphical
Uh-oh.
upgrade too when you got to the next gen version of that. But
Uh-oh.
yeah, like, what's cool about the
Yeah,
game is
I
is-
literally like. I guess apparently it was on PlayStation 2.
yeah,
So yeah, I don't know.
yeah, like
I
you're
guess I
very
just
limited
never
as
played
a player in there. You have to use bones and sticks as weapons a lot of the times, and once in a while you'll get guns. That's what's awesome about it. And like when I was in elementary school when this game came out, this game made my imagination go insane. I'd be sitting there in class while we're supposed to be reading. Now, I was imagining a sequel to this game being played in my head. I'm going through levels. I'm like creating this other like area in Skull Island that was never explored and shit like that. And it's just everything about it's awesome. It's got special features where you can go to like a digital Weta workshop and actually look at the video game models that they put in the game. It's amazing. And it's got an alternate ending, by the way. I forget how you unlock that. It might be a cheat code or something. But it's got an alternate ending where Kong can like survive. They put so much into this
That's kind
game.
of cool. Huh.
Oh,
Didn't
I
they have
realize it was
the-
gonna pull up like that? But yeah, this is the game itself. And like I said, for 2005, it's not bad. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. And it's actually like scary. Like at times. Like
Okay.
Oh yeah.
yeah, you have to like escape the creatures and like stuff like that. And like you get ammunition and stuff, but like there's areas that you can't cross like right away. See if I can find like
The Brontosaurus level used to terrify the shit out of me with all the raptors coming out of nowhere.
yeah, dude. Yeah, there's like a whole sequence, yeah, where you have to like run away from like the giant dinosaurs and stuff, dude. It's pretty nice.
Screenwriter and dinosaur.
And then you have to like, also protect Jack Black as well.
Okay.
Yeah, don't they have the actual actors in this?
Yeah, the actual actors voice the thing.
Wow.
So this is like cool. I mean, like the first person shooter part is actually pretty entertaining, but when you actually switch to Kong, like even that, let me see if I can find like the actual gameplay for the Kong. Yeah,
You legitimately feel powerful when you play as Kong.
yeah. Like the gameplay is actually pretty rad. And then you actually get to do like the whole sequence where you fight the T-Rexes and actually have to like break their jaws and like when you fight them, like yeah, as T-Rex you get to you can actually like build up to like do like finishing moves and stuff. It is pretty good. They also use it pretty sparingly too. I'm trying to see if I can find the T-Rex fight.
T-Rex.
Yeah, you have to like go save Anne because she's being attacked by like the T-Rexes and stuff, dude. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I did a whole Let's Play of this game on my other channel, and I remember at one point when we were fighting off 3 of the V-Rexes, one of the V-Rexes just fell off the fucking waterfall, and I've never seen that happen before.
But yeah, after a while, and then like the very end of the game is King Kong like on the Empire State Building, and it's just kind of like a survive mission. You just last as long as you can until you finally just die.
Oh, really?
But,
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
You want to hear
one
what
of
I
the
think
few,
is a
like,
10 out of
it-
10? That's what that
I would
is.
argue it's like on the same tier level as like Return of the King. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
Did you ever play that?
Oh yeah.
Like,
I played
yeah.
the shit out of that, dude.
Dude, it's
Return of the
so-
King is an incredible game.
Oh.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh, I played so much of that and the Two Towers. The original Fellowship of the Ring game that's based on the book.
Oh yeah, that was a
that
lot
one's
of fun
also
too.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Which
dude.
one?
The Fellowship of the Ring game that's like based on the book. I think it came out in 2000 maybe 2001. It's based on the book, not the movies,
Yep.
and it's so good.
Man, I used to play that so much too. The whole like Black Rider sequence in the Shire.
Bro,
was
oh my goodness, it's
terrifying,
one of the
dude.
most intense game sequences ever.
Yeah.
2002 is when it came out, Mike. For PlayStation 2, I think it was such a good game.
It was awesome. Yeah, like they had like a level for Weathertop, Bree, Mines of Moria, Amen Hen,
Interesting.
all sorts of things like that. And
Yeah, I never
the
played this
combat
one.
was actually a lot of fun in that game too. So
Yeah. Like
Also-
obviously it's dated graphically, but it's really good.
Mhm.
Well, they also had like a they had a Game Boy version of I think Two Towers and Return of the King that were not the same games. They were like a top down isometric like kind of like Diablo. They had like Diablo
Oh, okay.
mechanics.
Mhm.
So like it was like loot, like as you killed monsters and stuff, you could get more like loot and stuff from the monsters and stuff. Yeah, and you could pick what character you wanted to use. I think it was like Gandalf, Legolas, or Aragorn or Gimli or something like that.
Mhm.
That game's actually kind of rad too. They
Yeah.
actually kind of have some banger Lord of the Rings games.
They did. War in the North was another one. That one was
Yep.
a lot of fun
Yeah.
too.
Shadow of
Third
Mordor,
Age.
the first Shadow of Mordor was also a really good game, and that's a non-canon story. That's just like a offshoot that was made. It was actually really entertaining.
Yeah, Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, which I've only played Shadow of Mordor like a little bit. I have not played.
I didn't play Shadow of War. I played through Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah. I played through both of those a lot. So yeah, they
I
were a
heard
lot
they're
of
really
fun.
good.
Yeah.
There's also so there was a Lord of the Rings game like even farther back in the day that was like on it might have been on MS DOS. I wish I could remember what the name of it was. Let me see here. And it actually follows the books like completely. It's like a top down like crappy like. Let me see if I'll just find the gameplay for it because I actually played this game as well, and it had like all 3 games on it. So, see, I'm wondering if Chaz has played this because Chaz, you used to play like PC games back in the day too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this was back in the day. This is an MS DOS game, Lord of the Rings, and so it was based on the book. So there's no movie. Anything tie-ins. This is like the music.
What the heck is this?
This is a Lord of the Rings game from MS. This was on MS DOS, bro.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and like
I've
yeah,
never heard
like-
of this one before. Huh.
Yeah, dude, I played all of these ones. Like this is, I
Wow.
mean, there was no movie influence on these. These are just straight up the books. But yeah, you play as Frodo, and that's what they make the hobbits all look like. But you can like recruit different people to your like party and stuff. Like you actually have to actively like recruit people to join you. If you don't, like Frodo will just go by himself and he dies.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. And they did all of these. They went through like
Interesting.
Return of the they went through Two Towers, Return of the King and stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
And then
Okay. That's kind of
yeah,
cool.
at the end of the game you can get it. Well, they actually like they even included the Barrow-wights in this game. Tom Bombadil makes an appearance. Like it's the books.
I was going to tell you that too in the Fellowship of the Ring game I was talking about a few minutes ago. That they have an entire Barrow Downs part with Tom Bombadil. Incredible
Yes.
stuff. The
Yeah.
Old Man Willow's in there. Like the
Yeah.
actual Old Man Willow scene from the first book is in there. It's so good, man. man,
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yep.
good stuff.
Yeah.
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 Good
Dude.
stuff. Like if you're a Lord of the Rings book fan, definitely try to find the Fellowship of the Ring and play it. It's hard to get a hold of for like PC and stuff now, especially because most computers don't have disk drives anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, great game.
And I mean, we have I think we have Lord of the Rings coming out to theaters again this week,
This
right?
weekend. Yeah, this
So,
weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going to see
It's pretty
Fellowship
awesome.
on Saturday.
Okay.
So,
Yep. Well, I'm very excited. I'm going to be taking my daughter to see Lord of the Rings for her first time ever in theaters next week. So
Let's go, bro.
I am
That's what's up.
very, very excited about that. So
That's awesome, dude.
been trying to get her to read through the books and stuff, and she's like, "These books are so wordy." Like,
Yup.
yes,
Right.
yes,
There's
they
a
are.
lot, dude.
Yeah.
Tolkien loved
yeah, Lord of
to
the
talk.
Rings is dense, man. My dad read all of those books to me as a kid, and I think it took me until I was probably early teens to actually read them myself. But yeah, it was a great experience having them read aloud. I mean, they're incredible stories. But I can understand the density. They are very dense.
I'm trying to get her to listen to like the Robert Ingalls
such good
narrated ones, because he does
so
such a
man.
good job with those.
Yep, listen to those
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I listened to that all the time when I was a kid. So
I feel like
that's
if
how I
you
put
can't-
myself to bed as a kid.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like if you're having a hard time reading it like on paper, listening to it, there are some very good audiobooks out there. I don't know if you guys listen to it, but Andy Serkis's narration of The Hobbit is excellent.
I've heard of it, but I haven't.
Really, really good. I listened to all that as well. So yeah, there's a lot of good audio recordings of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, before Andy Serkis did the narration for The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, he actually did like this live stream where he read through the entire Hobbit for a single live stream.
I watched it.
Insane.
It's so good, dude. I love that, man.
Like,
everything
that's a lot
he
of
does.
commitment.
You can tell how much he loves Tolkien's work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the stuff that he had to put himself through to play Gollum and stuff was insane. Like,
only a crazy
inhuman
person
stuff that nobody else would do. So
only a true fan and crazy person would do that. But he is a true actor, and the fact that he has not been nominated for more things is pretty criminal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
The man's a legend.
Yes, he is.
Was he not nominated? Didn't they give him? Wasn't he nominated for an Academy Award here recently for something?
Well,
for Caesar,
I know that recently they added didn't they add like a category for like mocap or something like that?
No, they still haven't. They haven't
done that yet.
No,
Okay.
They still haven't. No.
But I thought that maybe he was
An honorary. Did he get an honorary Oscar or something?
Let me look it up.
Because I know,
might have.
yeah, Tom
By the
Cruise
way-
got one of those finally recently. So
Total aside, while I was looking up this like Lord of the Rings MS-DOS game, there was a game back in 1992 created by Naughty Dog and published by EA called Rings of Power, which has nothing to do with Lord of the Rings.
really,
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
But like, dude, to hear Naughty Dog and EA from like 1992, dude, like what? That's wild work, bro. There's actually like a lot of Lord of the Rings games. Like
There are. Yeah.
there's like a
I mean-
surprising amount of them. I was like, oh wow.
I mean, there's a really good like Hobbit video game that came out back in the early 2000s as
Yes.
well.
Another good one, man.
Yeah.
Played the heck out
That
of
might have been the late '90s, actually. The
I
Hobbit
think it was
game.
early 2000s.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like around the same time that Lord of the Rings was coming out and stuff. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
you-
2003.
And then there was a game called The Third Age. I don't know if you guys ever played the
Yep,
Third
I
Age.
played
Yep.
that one.
Yeah, dude,
Mhm.
that was a good one too. Like
Yep.
yeah.
yeah, following the like what happened with like yeah. And then in the end you have to like fight the Eye of Sauron to like distract it so that the party can like survive the
If I remember
fight.
correctly, it's a
Yeah.
little bit more like an RPG type
It is.
role-playing game, right? It's a little bit more classic RPG style.
Yeah, it's like turn-based and then you have to like run
Yeah,
around
yeah,
and
yeah.
like there's enemy and you can see the enemies but they're not like actively like when you run into them it's like one enemy and then they turn into like however big the fight is. Yeah.
It's so annoying because like all of the Lord of the Rings games that we've gotten recently have all been just dog shit.
Yes.
Utter crap.
Have we even gotten anything recently?
Yes, we got like a Moria game.
Oh, the Tales of Moria. Yeah.
We've gotten that Gollum game, which was
Oh my goodness, that game was
horrifically bad.
horrible.
We have
Yeah.
that stupid Shire game that came out recently
Tales
as
of
well.
the Shire. Yeah.
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 Like
Yeah.
all of them are just awful.
They're just uninspired, really. I mean,
They're
that
bad.
was a weird, bad, cozy game. The Gollum game looked like it was, I don't even know what, should have never been made.
Dude,
Um,
looking at this thing, I cannot believe how many games there are. Like, I'm just gonna read these off real quick.
Oh, by the way,
because-
we just got a raid from Criticalus. Thank you.
hey, shout out!
Literally, shout out.
Ooh.
shout
I
out.
hope you're doing well, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Talking
Thank
about
you.
Lord of the Rings right now. I'm just going through like they were making there in 1982 there was a Hobbit video game. That might have been the one you were talking about. It came out for
That is
Commodore
the one I'm talking
64,
about.
Macintosh, dude, Amstrad CPC, Apple II, like dude. But there, dude, from 1982 to 1994, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Lord of the Rings games that were all based on the novels.
Man.
Dude, like it's
That's
kind of
insane.
insane.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. There's one called Riders of Rohan, and it's like a simulation game where you play as like in Rohan, like dude. And then you get from 2002 till now. There's almost been one like there's almost been one for a long time. There's like one almost every year, but yeah, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, 2002, War of the Ring, 2003, which I remember War of the Ring, but I never played it. Then there was the 2003 Hobbit game, Josiah, and I think that was one you were talking
Yep.
about.
Yep.
Then the Lord of the Rings Online, which
Played that.
survived until last year, actually, or year before last.
Which
Shut
one?
down. It looks like in
Lord of the Rings
2024.
Online.
Oh
MMO.
yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Survived a long time.
Lord of the Rings Adventure card game. Like, dude, this is nuts.
Oh
And then
man,
obviously Golem.
there's one called like Lord of the Rings, like Conquest or something like that.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah.
Yep,
Well,
Conquest,
the
yep.
games I just listed were just they're not even officially licensed games.
Oh
They're
really?
just
Hmm.
for Lord of the Rings. Yeah, the official games based on the films: Two Towers, Return of the King, Third Age, Battle for Middle Earth, Lord of the Rings Tactics, Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle Earth 2, Lord of the Rings
Yep.
Conquests, Lord of the Rings Aragorn's Quest. I never even played that. War in the North, Guardians of Middle Earth. Jeez, I didn't
Never
War in
even
the-
heard of
Lord
that
of
one.
the Rings.
War in the North was a really fun one. That one was co-op, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
yeah,
My
it was
wife
really,
and I
really
played
fun.
through that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then there has been that was just the games officially licensed like from the movies, and then there have been so many mobile games I can't
Oh,
even list them all.
And you forgot, did you mention the Lego games? The Lego Lord of the Rings games.
Oh
are
yeah,
great.
that's true.
Yeah,
Yep.
I did, but
Yeah.
you interrupted me when I was
Sorry,
reading.
no, I'm sorry. I was reading something. Well, no, that's why I was checking because I was reading something, so I figured I probably just missed it.
Mhm.
Mobile games starting in 2001, Lord of the Rings: The Forces of Light and Darkness. I've never heard of these.
Never
The
heard of that
Journeys
one.
of the Fellowship, The Battle of Middle Earth, The Two Towers trivia game, Two Towers trivia, The Return of the King, Lord of the Rings Pinball, Return of the King trivia, Lord of the Rings trilogy, Lord of the Rings Legends. This is insane. And then there's like 7 browser games. I've never heard of these either. Like this is kind of nuts, dude. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
That's cool.
one of the biggest IPs out there, man. The fact that they even had like that many attempts at making video games before there were even movies out is insane.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, so
We
good.
were spoiled.
None of the theaters around me are playing that, but I would have loved to actually see that in a theater since I never did it before.
I
Yep.
mean, there's like
You
no
make the-
theaters where you live,
What
right?
is it?
Well, there's
What's
one
the
in my
journey?
hometown, and there's one about an hour away from me, but
But they're
Oh,
literally
hour
like-
away. I was gonna say, yeah. I'm like try to travel. Take
It's
the
probably
truck.
not one of the big chain ones though, right? Like it's
yeah, no, they're all part of the same like company. There's like 3 of them around here, but none of them are playing it.
yeah.
Trying to think here, like, yeah, but yeah, seeing them in theaters would be rad. Like, I kind of dig that. So, I don't know if we're gonna go see it, but I kind of might want to.
Would they be the extended versions?
Yeah, they're all extended.
Okay.
They haven't put the theatrical cuts in theaters since they were originally released. Every re-release has been extended.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the way to go, man. I mean,
As it should be.
yeah, that's in my opinion the true version of the movies. So,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
I mean, it's so
It's
good. We
interesting
just
'cause,
signed.
like,
Sorry.
I've heard. Well, somebody, I'm not gonna put anybody on blast, but there was a pretty intense discussion, like I think last year about this, where a person had never seen them said that they actually preferred the theatricals to start with, and then once you watch those and like them,
I remember
then
that
watching-
conversation.
yeah, then watching the extended versions. And there was kind of some people having an argument about whether or not the theatricals are actually better to introduce new people to than the extended versions.
Yeah, I think like I can understand the argument because they are shorter, and I guess if you have a really bad attention span, maybe that's helpful. But I think you miss out on so much great stuff when you don't watch the extended editions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of Lord of the Rings reaction content on YouTube. I love watching people watch those movies for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
There's an overwhelming amount of people that choose to watch the extended edition, but there are some people that have chosen to watch the theatrical for their reaction because it's shorter and they feel like they want to like dip their toes in the water before they just go all in, and maybe they'll watch the extended edition for the second and third movies.
That's
or whatever.
that's the thing. You want people to have a good experience, and I think like the best way to start them is with the theatrical release, and then they can go back and watch
and
the
watch
extended.
extended.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like that's the kind of thing that you want to watch over and over, so you pick up
It's
more
because like
things.
it's even
Yeah.
even
Oh, by
if,
the way, we
What?
just got a raid from Extra Girl. Shout out. Thank you.
Oh, shut up.
out.
Appreciate
Hell
But
you.
you know, like that's not the kind of thing that they'll do if they have a bad first experience. So
That's right, and
Yeah.
I actually I do think that's a good point. And to be entirely honest, you're not losing out on a great experience when you don't watch or when you watch the theatrical cut, because they're still great movies, right?
Yeah.
They are great movies. There's just so much great stuff that's added with the extended editions that after you've seen the extended editions, you become spoiled, and that's like the only way you want to watch them. But don't get me wrong, the theatrical cuts of those movies are all great. There's just some really great stuff that's been cut from them. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's not like it makes them not worth watching or something, or makes them like not good movies. Clearly, the theatrical editions were the ones that were as so acclaimed and won all the awards and stuff like that. So
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it really
Still
depends.
great.
Like if they're coming into Lord of the Rings with a blank slate and they've never read the book or anything,
Right.
you know, start them with the theatrical. If
Right.
they're already fans, then jump right into the extended cut.
I think exactly. Like if they've read the book before, definitely watch the extended edition.
We're talking about the merits of introducing a new person to like Lord of the Rings. Do you have them watch the extended editions first or the
Mhm.
theatrical?
Mhm.
And yeah, I think introducing it to the theatrical is a good point. You know, and maybe they're like, oh, I'm a huge fan of the books, and maybe they want that like level of like depth to them. You know, but if it's like a just person like, oh, I've never seen these before, I think the theatrical a little less intimidating.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
and
less
Yeah.
long too.
Lord of the Rings is for the rest of your life, right? So you don't need to like, you know, get it all into that first viewing.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's something
And-
that they can enjoy later on.
Exactly, and they're still getting a great movie experience by watching the theatrical cuts,
Mhm.
regardless, because they're still great movies.
Yeah.
I also think it's interesting, like that
I
just made
agree.
me kind of think of like, from,
No, good job.
from another perspective, like you know, how many movies have come out even just in like the last 20 years? I'll go back that far, that are just consistent rewatches.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
I don't, you know, like
Where you
there
just
are
want to go
movies that-
back all the time.
yeah, there are movies that like, you know, from the 80s and 90s and stuff like that I'll watch all the time or
I'm-
go back to and really enjoy.
I'm actually
And-
curious about that when you're
Yeah.
done. I just a question for the panel.
And then
I
like
the
Lord of the
only
Rings,
ones
like-
that I can think of within the last maybe 15 years is probably like the John Wick series.
that I was
Mm.
actually thinking the John Wick series. Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Yeah, I was
Ben still
gonna-
hasn't seen.
I've seen the first one. Calm down. I was just gonna ask, what are those movies for you guys? Doesn't matter the time frame or time period. Doesn't have to be modern. What are those movies for you guys that you watch on a yearly basis? that you
well,
make
I know
a point to go
Cinderella
back
is
and
one for
watch.
you that you'll watch
Well,
millions of times.
we're not talking about me. I'm asking you guys, what movies will you make a point to go back and watch each year?
Each year,
Regardless.
there's
Yeah,
not
like-
a single one except Lord of the Rings that I
Okay,
rewatched
for
at
you,
least.
so it's just Lord of the Rings.
I mean, the ones that come in closest to that would probably be Princess Bride. That would be one that
Classic.
I go back and rewatch
good
a
too.
lot. It's always great. Shrek is another,
Yeah.
like especially
Yeah.
Shrek 2. I'll rewatch that one all the time.
Yep.
Toy Story
It's a good
is
one.
probably another one for me.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to think about that and see if there's any other ones, but just off the top of my head, those were the ones that come to mind.
And I see the chat chipping in. Feel free to leave your comments there too, because I love to see all the movies that people watch on a yearly basis.
Spider-Man 2 would be
Oh,
one
my
that
goodness.
I go back and watch a lot.
Yeah,
So
so good.
You
I know for a lot of people,
Christmas
Star
movies-
Wars too.
Yeah, I don't really count
Oh, yeah.
Christmas movies. I used to watch Star Wars all the time. I think it's been maybe 2 years now since I've watched a Star Wars movie.
That's
Like, I
probably
just
because of the bad taste
haven't had
Disney
any
put in your
interest
mouth.
to go back and rewatch that franchise like in
Yeah.
a while.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, Princess Bride's always one. Lord of the Rings is always a good one to put on. I've mentioned this before, but one of my guilty pleasures is Nacho Libre. Like if I
That
see
movie's
it, I'll
great,
just put
dude.
it on because
It's
I love that
so
movie.
good.
Yeah.
Oh no!
We actually just redid the Shrek movies just a couple days ago, actually.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
dude, they're always a good one to put on. Even
good.
even the third one and the fourth one, like they're
I
not as
enjoyed
good,
those movies,
but they're
though.
still like they're whatever, you know.
Yeah.
They're
Like
fine.
I
They're
think
still
though,
fun.
in the grand
Yeah.
scheme of things, like if you look at things made in the last 10 years, all the Shrek movies are better than the majority of the animation that we've gotten in the last 10 years. Even the third and the fourth one have their really funny moments
Mhm.
that are laugh out
Mhm.
loud, but Shrek 2 is unbeatable. It's
Yeah.
so good.
It's a
It's
masterpiece.
So good, bro.
Knight's Tale. That's another one that I've
Great movie.
Knight's Tale's
Yep.
rewatched a few times.
Great movie.
Yeah.
I love the Knight's Tale. Yeah,
I know.
it's like
well,
every couple years. It's not. I wouldn't. For me, it's not like every year, but every
Yeah.
couple years, yeah, I'm like, man, I want to watch a Knight's Tale. Man, I miss it.
I'll
Mhm.
watch It's a Wonderful Life every year, especially around Christmas. That's one that I'll watch consistently.
Grim's reminded himself. He's just like, don't do it.
What?
Just don't do it. It'd be worse when you weren't here.
I mean, yeah, sometimes I do have to remind myself of that.
I don't know what it is, but I've had like this weird thing over the past few years where I just don't watch Christmas movies around the Christmas season.
That sounds like a very Grinchy thing to say.
Yeah, it does sound
I
like
just-
a Grinchy thing to say.
Maybe it's just
I
me.
just
and
don't care,
kinda
bro.
hate this
I just
Speaking
Christmas
of-
crap.
have any desire to watch any of them, bro.
I also
don't know.
watch The Grinch every year.
This whole
'Cause I love the
Christmas
Grinch.
season is stupid, stupid, stupid.
I mean, there's plenty of other Christmassy things that I do, but
Yeah.
watching the movies, I don't know. Like,
Well, when they try to start the Christmas season in October, it gets to be a little much.
Yeah, well, that's just consumerism.
Yeah.
taking over
I
the
yeah, I
holiday.
don't start Christmas stuff until like for me it's December. Like I know some people start watching movies and stuff. I don't start until December, and then it's like just get in
I
what
mean,
you can.
Josiah,
So,
That
you
might
don't
be
watch the
part of my
Muppets
problem.
Christmas
I don't
Carol
know.
every year?
I did watch that one. I watched that one. I watched the Grinch.
Okay, those ones are like must watches, regardless of
then
whether you
Claus.
watch
That's the other
others.
one that I watched. this
I
year.
love that movie.
Claus
Movie's
is good.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another one that I'll watch too.
The last time I watched like Elf, I was like, I don't know, man.
I can't watch Elf every year. I enjoy the movie, but I can't watch it every year.
Yeah.
Like, it's like once every 2 years kind of movie for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
after a couple of years, watch it and watch it again later.
Yeah.
Interstellar might become a yearly rewatch for me, to be entirely honest with you.
For Christmas.
No, I'm just talking about on a yearly basis. Sorry, not Christmas related. That might be one that I have to sit down and watch. A Dune also might become movies that I have to watch on a yearly basis too. Blade Runner 2049 I watch every year. I've watched every year since it's come out. So
I was wondering
know.
when he would mention that one.
yeah. Your Name,
He did
that's
a good
another
way of
one.
bringing it back around to Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
Your Name, Blade Runner 2049. What can I say? They're both so good.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff.
I don't have any shows that I like go back to consistently like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have never gone back and watched a show. I will watch a show through one time, will not go back and watch it.
Really?
Can't
Not
do
a
that.
single one?
Not a single one.
that's
I'll watch episodes. So like I'll watch episodes of The Office, or I'll watch episodes of Psych or Chuck or things like that. I'll just watch episodes, but I won't ever go back and start from the beginning and watch a show all the way through again. I almost did that. I was considering doing that for Game of Thrones, and then season 8 came out, and I've never gone back and watched another episode of that show. So,
I did go back, and after, it wasn't that long ago, actually. It was like a couple years ago. I went back and rewatched the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones just to remind myself.
Remind yourself that it was good. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, that's kind of a lie. I have watched Solo Leveling like 6 times, so
Of course.
I mean, I'll be honest about that. I think I've also watched the live action One Piece first season like 2 or 3 times. So newer shows, some of them I've rewatched a few times.
Like,
but
I never rewatch shows, and he's like, I've seen.
Well, then I
some of
sat
them.
here remembering. I was like, hold on a second. Maybe I have.
Anime is one I will go back and revisit. Like I've watched Hunter x Hunter all the way through like twice. I have gone through Freerun 3 times now.
Wow.
I still need to watch that.
Every time I've watched it, I really enjoy it, and I'll go back and just rewatch it again. It scratches that high fantasy itch. The other thing is like it's not set in Japan. Like other anime and stuff a lot of times are set in Japan, and so they have that feudal Japanese setting if they're set back in time or whatever and stuff. This is like set in like a fictional world, and it's very, very European, and so it very much scratches that like kind of, Western fantasy itch a lot, and I really appreciate that. Like all the characters' names are like more German based and Germanic based and stuff like that. Yeah, Freerun is, I highly recommend it if you are a fan of fantasy.
I have it on my watch list on Netflix, and I still have yet to watch it, but it's there.
Yeah, it starts out really slow, and it seems like it's very much going to be like a slice of life show. That is not at all what it is. It's just
I don't think it'd be a bad
I've
thing
already
if it was.
pitched it a million times to people. I'll never stop glazing the show. It's really good, but it's essentially like if you followed, like what is Gandalf up to after Lord of the Rings? Like if he didn't like leave and he was like, oh, I don't know, it's over.
I've only heard good stuff about the character work in that show.
Yeah, it's great.
So.
Yeah, it's one of the best anime I've ever seen. So
yeah, I need to watch it.
But yeah, TV shows are a little bit harder because it's more of a time sink.
It's more of a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I always appreciate catching stuff I didn't catch the first time. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some that that are on my list that I definitely want to go back and rewatch, like Breaking Bad. I want to watch that again. I think there's only been a few shows like when Mike started to watch The Last Kingdom, I went back and started to rewatch that from the beginning as well.
Yeah, Last Kingdom's good, man.
It is really good, really good.
I've still never seen that either.
It's good, dude. It's surprisingly good, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Just I was like, you gotta watch this. I was like, all right, I'll watch the Viking show, Josiah, whatever. And I started watching. I was like, damn, this show kind of slaps, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was watching like 4 or 5 episodes at a time, like just nonsense. I was like, oh shit, bro.
Really, really good character drama in that show. So,
Yep.
Did any of you? I know Josiah watched Vikings. Did anybody else watch Vikings? No.
Nope.
I've actually rewatched that like 3 times.
Vikings is a good show.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
I just started Better Call Saul. I'm having a great time with it so far.
Oh man, yeah,
That's great.
so good, so good. Ben, I mean this completely sincerely. You have to watch Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
I haven't seen Breaking Bad, so of course not. I know.
It's crazy.
I'm sorry. How many seasons is Breaking Bad?
6, I think.
Oh,
5?
Is it
5?
Is it? I think it's.
when
5.
I hear
Okay.
5 seasons, I'm like,
Bro.
I don't know if I want to sink into that. It's really
reason
hard for me.
It's 5
go
seasons,
back.
Yeah. Listen, I will say this. It takes a second. I mean, season 1 is only 7 episodes, Ben. They're not like full
Like an
20
hour
plus
long, right?
episodes. Yeah, so like season 1's 7 episodes, 2, 3, and 4 are 13, and then season 5 is actually 16 episodes. And it actually justifies how it starts to clip along. After like season 1 is good, season 2 is where it starts to like really cook, and then seasons 3, 4, 5 like they're brisk, like they go quick because you really want to see what happens next. And Better Call Saul, I was never bored with ever, and that show ended. I was like, oh my god, I'm already done with this, like for real.
I'm not worried about being bored. It's just like after a show, if I miss the first or second if I miss the first season or the second season, it's very difficult for me to go and just watch a show all the way through. It's like
that's like my dream scenario because I could just binge it all.
I genuinely do not like binging television. I just feel like a piece of trash after binging TV.
Well, the good news is, Ben, you don't have to.
I did it with Game of Thrones, and I binged that entire seasons 1 through 7 in 1 through 6, and then watched 7 as it was airing.
But the thing is that nobody's forcing you to binge it.
Yeah,
but the thing is, when it's a show that's already out, I feel like I have to, and then I feel like trash when I do.
No reason at all to binge it, unless you get sucked in, and then you can't stop yourself.
Yeah, and then you feel like trash when you realize that you've just spent 9 hours.
I have never felt like trash binging a show. In fact, I actually prefer to binge it so that I don't have it as a thing in my to-do list to get done. Like rewatching a show as quickly as possible, not blitzing through it, like not paying attention. But if I'm gonna rewatch a show, I prefer binging it because I don't have to.
Should I watch Breaking Bad on 2x speed?
No.
You will miss a lot. There's a lot of
that idea just makes me angry with the fact that you even said
right.
That,
I have never watched.
I've been angry since he made the noise at Breaking Bad.
But the thing is, it's not at Breaking Bad. It's the fact that it's 6 seasons that I have to catch up on.
5 seasons.
5 seasons.
5 seasons.
Actually,
still,
and there's 5 seasons of Better Call
6
Saul.
seasons. Oh, so 10 seasons of television that I have to catch up on. That's what I'm saying about. Not because the show is bad.
I'm telling you, but that's the thing. It's not.
I believe you. The show. I guarantee the show's great.
I'm trying to think. So, like, what would that? So, what is it? Breaking Bad has 62 episodes.
62 hours of television.
You can watch like an episode a week, and you'd be done like a little over a year.
Yep. Or you do what I did, which is just that
what if
when
I start watching it and I
watch it while I'm working or doing things where I don't have to like interact with anybody or whatever, and I binge a bunch of episodes of it. Like, I knock out like 3-4 episodes a day. If I was sick or like didn't feel great, that was perfect, dude. I would clip through a whole chunk of that show fast, man. It's worth it because it is so good. A bad show or like an okay show, not worth it. I've watched okay shows and you get bored. You will burn out very quickly on okay shows trying to binge them, but nah.
Ben, didn't you say that you were the type that needs to have some sort of like hero archetype like for the protagonist too?
What?
No, that was Dan Vask.
That was Dan?
Not at all. No, I really don't care about the protagonist being a hero.
Okay.
Dan didn't like.
It seems like a very Ben thing though.
Yeah.
No,
Dan liked Breaking Bad for what it was, but he didn't like there wasn't like an actual hero. He really likes heroes in television and like positive like
I remember
characters, and he was kind of surprised because of
I respect it, but I kind of like it when every character is a piece of garbage.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
Well, then you will definitely like Breaking Bad.
I don't doubt that I will. I just actually have to take the time and make the commitment to sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
So,
just put on the first episode, and just see what happens. Just let yourself just naturally just get sucked in, Ben. Just
let that show suck me so hard.
Dude, it will give you the craziest nut of your life. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, aren't there tits in the first episode too?
Crazy. I mean, that's not why I watch television, Nate. Goodness gracious.
Just saying, get sucked in,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you get to see a bunch of like whitey tighties in the first episode as well. And
that you're not selling it at all.
Get to see Bryan Cranston and whitey tighties.
You are not doing a good job selling this show.
Mr. White.
Science. Yeah, science.
Just
You should
you know,
Try
watch
it,
'em.
bitch.
turn off whatever streamer you're watching and just put on
Yeah.
some Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, Ben,
Yep.
if you start adding up the amount of hours you watch other people play video games.
Yeah, but it's slop. I can just put that on and I don't have to pay attention to it. If I put on Breaking Bad, I have to pay attention to it.
That's wild.
I have
Then
like
somebody's like, I feel terrible when I have to sit down and cook like a big meal for myself, a delicious, delectable,
I'm
succulent
pretty
meal,
sure
and I have to sit down and I eat it. It takes me a while to get through it all.
I'm
But I
pretty
can
sure
just scarf down hamburgers from McDonald's, bro. Like I can, and I don't give a shit at all.
for real though, I'm pretty sure I have some like severe ADHD or something because like I have to have something on, but if I have to pay attention to it, it's GG's. It's game over. Not like on a normal basis, like if I'm sitting down with the purpose of watching the show, but like if I'm working, I can't put on something that I have to pay like super close attention to,
Right.
otherwise I'm cooked.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
so like you,
I mean,
you
I
gotta
kind of
understand
get
that.
that,
You
I
gotta
guess,
understand
you know?
that. It's like I would prefer to put on something that I don't feel like I have to like be watching the entire time because I like to have something on. It helps my brain,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
But not like I love to watch television shows that make me think and I can sit there and think about. But it's something that I would do in like with my evening time. I
Mhm.
sit
See,
and actually just focus on the show.
I
So-
binged it, but I mean I would do it because I would work on stuff and then watch Breaking Bad, like because I would just put it on my second monitor and watch it, and like
Yeah, but
I mean I got
just feel
through
like
a lot
it's
of
not
it
a
that
second
way.
monitor show though. You know.
It can be if you do it correctly, which is whatever you're working on just has to be monotonous enough that you don't really you kind of check out on that and watch the show. I watched the whole thing. I could tell you everything that happened. Because I focused on it, but yeah, I mean, like I have to do multiple things at one time. Like my ADHD is bad. I have like multiple tabs and shit open. But yeah, dude, I just it's wild to me. I feel like crap for binging 6 hours of the best television of my life. But man,
Dude,
put on
literally,
some good old
But Tim the
streamer
Tap
slop.
Man.
Bro,
Tim the Tat Man yelling
there
at me
were-
about playing
bro,
Call of Duty.
There
Hell
were
yeah.
some freaking days that I would watch. I was unemployed at the time watching Game of Thrones, and
Don't
I
tell
would
me that.
literally just sit there for 10 hours straight.
It's a great show.
When you're unemployed, I mean, come on.
Yeah, and once you get done with it, you're done with it. That's the thing.
I would
Once you're
just
finished,
imagine
you're
out
done.
in my bed, getting ready to move out of my parents' house, just sit there watching Game of Thrones.
just jorking it, dude.
Oh, tits.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh man,
The dragon.
I don't. Yeah, the dragon. That's where I. Little did you know I'm dragosexual. No, but I. Yeah.
Oh no.
Jail.
Let's get that on a t-shirt.
Oh man,
I'm
please
dragon
don't.
sexual.
dragosexual. Was that after you lived at the theater, Ben? No, that was before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, things were
Yeah, I
still a
wasn't-
little
I wasn't
rough for him at the
homeless just
theater,
yet.
So
yeah,
yeah.
Jesus.
He had home. It was the theater at that point.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's true.
And my
Freaking hell,
couch.
dude.
And Josiah's couch. That's true.
Crazy work.
And
This
we watched
guy's-
a lot of Game of Thrones on my couch as well.
We did. We did.
Mm-hmm. Good times.
Great show.
Mhm.
It was until it wasn't. So
Yeah,
that's
true.
You guys going to talk about how bad Star Trek Starfleet Academy is?
I don't really care about it or Star Trek.
I saw a poster for that with like one of the like fat chicks, and I'm like, "There's no way this is real." And it was from the fucking verified Star
No,
Trek.
it's
account.
real.
Couldn't believe it.
The
It's
only
real.
thing I've seen from the show is some like 30-second clip that had like the most crazy DEI slop I've ever seen in it, and I was like, okay, yep, that sounds about right. So
Mhm.
that's all I've seen.
It's
but-
brutal, dude. As a Star Trek fan, I mean, like watching Star Wars go down, it's like, okay, at least you have Star Trek fall
Mhm.
back on. But
No.
then they went for that too, and man, it's just
Yeah,
it's
but the new
brutal.
Star Trek might be almost more insulting than new Star Wars.
It absolutely is
Yeah.
100%.
Like it to me, it feels more repulsive than Star Wars ever did.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just what a disaster.
Yeah, because like Star Wars, they just kind of killed it, and everyone
Yeah.
stopped caring. Where they're kind of parading Star Trek's corpse around,
Yeah.
like stretching its skin over, like, you know, whatever DEI monster they have developed, and it's, you hate to see it.
Man,
Dude, it's terrible.
there's a reason why I never got into Star Trek, you know.
Well, no, stop.
The original Star
Stop.
Trek show is really good and deserves to be watched. But
Yeah, I tried.
the Next Generation is good too.
Original OG Star Trek, it has it's aged, but it's still
It
good.
definitely is
The
aged, but
stories,
it's a good show.
because you're not watching it for like the production value. You're watching it for the storytelling aspect, and there's
And the
some
acting.
really good stuff, man. Like
All the characters.
Star Trek Next Generation. It's funny because I was just telling this to somebody the other day. Like with Netflix shows nowadays, like modern television, if I'm not hooked within like 3 episodes, I walk.
You're done.
I'm just
Yeah.
like, nah, I'm
Yeah.
good. It's wasting my time.
Totally.
Anything from like early 2000s to like 90s and 80s, those television shows, a lot of times you have to give them like a full season. Like they had like a full season of like 20 plus episode television to really work through and establish these characters. And almost like, it's funny because nowadays what you have happen a lot with modern television is what's called the sophomore slump, where the second season is usually weaker than the first.
Yep.
That's not how stuff in the 90s was. It was actually the opposite. You'd have like a weaker first season, but if you got through that first season and stuck with it, that second season was a banger.
Well,
And,
I think that's how it was for Next Generation. That show really hit its
Well,
stride.
Next Generation gets really good when Tasha dies.
Mhm.
And that's not a spoiler. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
There's a character in Next Generation, Josiah, who is like is a character that would work in Star Trek today
Not
and
back then.
and get the same elicit the same exact response. She was like this like blonde haired like 100-pound soaking wet like woman who was the security officer, but like she would be standing next to Michael Dorn, Worf, who's like 6'3" and massive, and she's like
telling stories about drug addiction and the SA gangs that lived on her planet.
Yeah, like it was terrible,
like wild stuff.
And then like it was just funny because she would just have like these god awful episodes where they would focus on her, and it was just her whining and complaining all the time about everything. And like there's an episode where they're facing off like a multi-dimensional like being that like with like omnipotence and like
It's just black goo and it just kills her.
yeah. Well, no, but like the episode they deal with like Q or whatever. The first time they deal with Q,
Oh yeah.
he gets mad at her because she mouths off to him, and he puts her in like a penalty box, and she just sits there and cries. And like Picard's like, "Why are you crying?" She's like, "Cause I just want to help and I can't." And he's like, "It's okay to cry, I guess." Like, I'm like, what the fuck is this, bro? And then they just have a random throwaway episode with a goo monster who apparently the production of this was so bad, like it was a nightmare to make this thing work, and he just kills her. There's no build up. There's no dramatic, like, you know, like
Okay, I kind of
episode.
respect that.
No,
Yeah.
he just straight up.
That's
He's like,
great.
she's like, "Who are you, Mr. Goo Monster? Blah blah. Who do you think you are?" And he's
The
like,
goo monster
"Bitch."
is also the writer's like basically manifestation of one of the producers on the show as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and they
didn't
just
know
kill her
that.
off, and then the show gets so good after that. Like,
And
you
she's
take a
not
deep
even
breath.
she's not even in a large number of episodes. I want to say like maybe a quarter of the series.
Yeah,
total.
quarter of the first season, but like when
Yeah.
she dies, it gets so much better. She also like just, it's weird. She has sex with the android. You're like, why
Oh.
did you do that? And she's like, because I could. Yeah.
Okay.
Good
I
stuff.
like this character.
It's great stuff.
Season
Yeah.
season 1 of Star Trek: The Next Generation, it has some really good episodes, but it has some real stinkers, dude. And then
Yeah.
it hits its stride at like right about the end of the show. And the season 1 finale is great, and then the rest of the show goes from there, and they're all bangers after that. So,
Yep.
Bangers.
dude, they have like
Great
phenomenal
cast too.
episodes. Yeah.
Just incredible cast in that show as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star Trek is not worth like, you know, it's worth watching, like OG Star Trek for sure. The old movies are good too. Wrath of Khan is a great movie.
The
but-
movies are hit or miss too.
Whatever new Star Trek is, it's I don't know.
Leonard
anymore.
Nimoy would like direct a movie, and you're like, that was pretty good. You did a good job. And William Shatner's like, I want to direct.
Yeah.
And you're like, he's like, well, he got to direct. Why can't I do it? And then you see his movie, and you're like, that's
why. Yeah.
you're not allowed to direct movies anymore. You
man.
can't. You have to stop. Yeah, just go back to acting, please.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
maybe someday I'll try to watch it again.
That
Maybe.
means no.
That means he's never touching it.
That means he's never going to do it. He still hasn't played Expedition 33.
I mean,
Maybe one
look,
day.
I
own
was
it.
planning on it. Okay, I literally was like that night planning on playing it, and then Ben was like, "You should try out Enshrouded," and so we started playing Enshrouded, and now I haven't played anything else.
Yeah, I got him. That was. I mean, I'll take the
Leave it to
responsibility.
Ben to
That was my
completely
fault.
ruin Josiah having like one of the best experiences.
Okay,
life
to
when it comes
be
to video
fair,
games.
Ben absolutely just T-boned me that night, bro.
I was not.
Wait, what?
Whoa,
That doesn't sound good.
whoa! I don't know if I can get that intimate, but it was not. It was not my intention to stop him from playing Expedition 33.
No, it
I just
wasn't,
was
but
like,
you
man,
did
I want
think
to play
about-
this game with Josiah.
You never stop to think about the consequences of
Yep.
talking about a different game with him. Yeah.
So if I never play Expedition 33, it's all Ben's fault.
Yes.
That's crazy.
No, it is. It is. Yeah.
Which at
you-
this point, I mean, it might not happen
you have to play it.
That's crazy.
because
Guys,
like,
have you made any
there's-
more progress on it? I know you were playing it for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I played a little bit of it. I think I played another, I don't know, 4 hours or something, but I've been kind of busy this week, so
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. No,
haven't
I
had a lot of
understand.
time.
You got past the end of Act 1, right?
Yes.
Okay,
an hour into no topic, I've had enough.
that's crazy.
Thank
That's
you, legit.
crazy.
Dude,
What do you mean, no
topics are
topic?
overrated. Like, if you guys want us to talk about a specific topic, just say,
It's
hey,
boring. Topics
what do
are
you guys
boring.
think about this? I'd much rather do that. Just being like, we got a list of topics we
mean,
have to get to. Oh,
That's
God.
what we did with what's his face? He was asking about Star Trek, Starfleet, Star
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Com
We
or
talked
whatever it's
about Star
called,
Trek.
Starcock, and so we
Star
Star
Trek.
Trek.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think about Kathleen Kennedy finally leaving Lucasfilm?
Good riddance.
She's gone.
She's gone.
It
All I
is-
can
The
say
West
is-
dead.
all I can say is Doomcock was right the entire time, guys.
He was right. It only took him 6 years.
Yeah, only took
Oh,
him 6
man.
years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, so from what I understand, she's gone, but she was replaced by Dave Filoni,
and
right?
some
Yeah.
other guy too, right? With his
So-
yeah,
name on
Dave
it.
Filoni.
Dave
and-
Filoni and an accountant from Lucas.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So I know that's
Interesting.
pretty controversial. I know a lot of people don't like Dave Filoni.
Well, I don't now, but if you remember 5 years ago, all people were doing was crying and screaming that Dave Filoni would replace Kathleen Kennedy. So now they just got what they wanted,
Yes.
whether or not they actually wanted it anymore or not. But that's what they were screaming for 5
Mhm.
years ago.
Mhm.
So, I don't know.
I mean,
just-
yeah, it was. I don't know. It was definitely gonna happen at some point.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm just so apathetic towards Star Wars these days.
yeah,
that
yeah.
I genuinely don't care. I like you could not pay me to care. For
The thing is
anything
that
happening.
I agree.
Star Wars as a franchise, they're going to try to pivot, right? Like they're going to try to move away from
I hope
some
they do.
woke type of stuff.
Yeah,
But I don't think the storytelling is really going to improve that much. It's still going to be in a lot of cases just corporatized slop. Like I mean, that's exactly what we continue to see from Pixar, from just like Disney in general. I don't think Star Wars is going to really change. I don't think that we're going to really get any like genuinely like interesting heartfelt stories when it
Yeah.
comes to Star Wars.
Well, and it's frustrating because like Filoni in his Clone Wars days, like early Clone Wars, I think did a really good job with Star Wars, and I think it was probably because Disney didn't own Star Wars at that point when the first 6 seasons of Clone Wars came out. Don't get me wrong, I love season 7. I thought it was great, but it's also a continuation of a great story that was already great. So those footsteps were, or those footprints were there for them to follow. But his work on those first 6 seasons of Clone Wars, I think, are some pretty great television. So it's like, it's not the fact, I don't think it's even necessarily that he doesn't have the ability to write good stories, because I think he does have that ability. I think he might have lost a lot of his touch doing those things. Having worked for Disney for so long, being in that machine, I feel like has an effect on you as a writer, because they suppress you so much. They put you, they make you write X, Y, and Z, and then you end up kind of just conforming to that. And I feel like that's probably the case with him. And
I think to a certain extent, he's always been the one who's been willing to play ball with them. I
With
think
Disney?
he suffers from the same condition that like James Gunn suffers from, where he likes to do whatever he wants to do, and he wants to self-insert, and it doesn't really matter what's best for the actual IP. It's whatever he wants to do.
I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I guess I should credit Jon Favreau too for a lot of the work on original Clone Wars, because I believe he had a pretty large part in that as well. And I think he's always been.
Clone Wars, it started out like being pre-Disney, right? Didn't it?
Yeah, all the first original 6 seasons were all pre-Disney. Actually, season 6 they had to end because they ended the show because Disney was buying Lucasfilm.
There are some real stinkers in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there's not
real bad Star Wars.
The show itself, at its core, is a great show, though, and there's far more good than there is bad in that show. Like,
yep.
But he's also like the writer on like The Mandalorian,
right?
like
which
that too,
I'm saying that like himself, I don't think he's not. I think he's not a bad creative mind, but similar to what Chaz was saying, I do see the James Gunn comparison with him. He is a big self-insert guy.
He also has some really terrible instincts sometimes, and
Yeah.
he doesn't have anyone to tell him no.
Yes.
And look how well that worked out for George Lucas too. Like,
and
Right.
Kathleen Kennedy.
yeah,
Dave Filoni
exactly.
in a lot of ways reminds me of George Lucas. I think he was kind of George Lucas's
He
like
was his protege.
protege.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. When he was doing the Clone Wars, so like I can definitely see that. And I would have to look and see like if the best episodes of the Clone Wars throughout all 7 seasons, like if they were written by him or if they were written by somebody else. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them weren't written by him.
Did George Lucas tell Dave Filoni to start wearing the cowboy hat, or was that like?
No,
I
that
think
was
maybe
his
I think that
choice.
was just him.
That was
I think
him
that he's
deciding.
always been like that.
Yeah,
Like, was
that him.
George Lucas like I have this cowboy hat here that I
wear this cowboy. hat.
Yeah,
Really?
You're distinct.
George.
I don't have a chin. You have a cowboy. hat. Yeah. Well, the other
come
thing
to
is
my
like,
ranch. Come to my
the-
ranch over here, Dave Filoni.
part of
Let me-
the rumor is that like with the Clone Wars, George Lucas worked with him, and then I don't know how true this all is because I haven't really like done a ton of, but is that Dave Filoni created Ahsoka. Ahsoka is his baby, like that's his
Yes.
character. George Lucas told
Ahsoka's a great
him
character though.
that he needed to kill her off, and that was the best thing that he could have done for that character, and Dave Filoni refused. And to me, looking at it that way, you know, I'm not saying that George Lucas is right about everything. He's not. In fact, a lot of the extended universe stuff that he had nothing to do with is really good. But the idea of not getting so attached to a character that you can't move on and tell other stories is important. And look at where Disney is now.
Especially when
Mhm.
it's super important for the character arcs.
Yes.
And I think,
Yeah.
and truthfully, I think that like if we left off with Ahsoka where Ahsoka was by the end of Clone Wars season 7, that was a good point to end her character's story.
Yeah.
I think that show ended her story beautifully, but then he decided to continue going different ways with her, which, you know, it's his character, I guess, do whatever you want. But yeah, I think they've actually ended Ahsoka's story well twice. Season 7 and season 5 of Clone Wars, I think. Whenever she leaves the Jedi Order and she gets betrayed by the Jedi Order and she ends up leaving. Incredible arc, like story arc in that show. That's so good and so impactful. But yeah, then all the other stuff that they've done since then has been a little bit rough. Like the newer stuff. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and
so straight up, when George Lucas was turning Star Wars over to Disney, he handed them, I believe it was like 40 scripts.
Yep.
For these television shows.
that they just threw
these-
out, right?
These episodes were going to be really expensive to produce. They were going to be like 20 million an episode or something like that. But they were written by Ronald D. Moore and Vince Gilligan.
Mm.
And it's like, if they had been smart, they would have just gone with those scripts.
Yeah.
If they're actually
he-
serious about writing the ship, they would go back to those, or they would go to Jon Favreau and like beg him to come back. Like,
And he also had didn't he have scripts for 7, 8, and 9?
Yeah.
Too? Like completely written, or at least like
Uh,
outlined.
I think
maybe outlined.
serious outlines.
Yeah. Like he definitely had ideas for continuation. I would love to see his continuation of his story. Just
yeah.
because I think George Lucas, whatever he lacks in ability to write dialogue, I think he is a very good storyteller, which is why Star Wars works the way that, as much as it does, like the original story of Star Wars, because it is an effective story, and it works well, and his characters are really good. I just think that some of his, a little bit more detailed writing is a little rough, but I would love to see where his story continued for that, for the Star Wars saga. It's unfortunate that we'll probably never see that.
Yeah, instead we got lispy fucking Dave Filoni getting on stage talking about representation and all these female characters, and like, oh my god, the work I did on Acolyte is so epic.
The thing was, though, is like Lucas never did a bad job with female characters. I don't think like his female characters weren't, they weren't terrible characters. I thought they were pretty decent. Like we had blueprints there for great female characters, and even better blueprints in the extended universe stuff that just got completely thrown away. There's some amazing characters. Mara Jade is one of the coolest characters in Star Wars. They just completely did away with that idea.
Well, we know how Hollywood feels about redheads.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, if you're a good writer, you're a good writer, and
yes.
good writers know their limitations and what they are good at and what they're not, and you should be able to write characters that are not from your perspective as a good writer and do that well, or recognize that you can't and then don't do it. Yep. If you recognize that you are incapable of writing a character that doesn't come from a similar background as you or a similar perspective as you, then you just don't write those characters.
Yep.
Like, and then
or you find a writing partner who knows how to do that, and then
you
work with them.
Part of the reason that George Lucas did what he did was because he had a good team around him. Like his wife, his first wife, as the editor, was like, I gotta make this out. I gotta make this watchable, and she did a really good job of that. And Lawrence Kasdan was a huge help for him. And it's funny because everybody that worked with George Lucas back then admitted once he saw the merchandising the sales numbers, that's when he lost his mind. Yeah, because they were like he stopped really caring as much about the story and really saw how can we merchandise things, like, yeah. Being able to understand what your limitations are as a writer is very important, because there's no writer that is universally good at everything. No. Not even Tolkien. So you have to be able to understand what your limitations are, lean into your strengths, and then the parts that you struggle with, like Chaz said, like either get a writing partner that can help you, or do a lot of studying to shore up the areas that you struggle with. And being able to, a good writer can write female characters and male characters and do both, and do them both very well. And we've had television shows for decades and decades that have had phenomenal female characters in it, and the only reason that phenomenal black characters in it. And, the only reason that we're in the boat that we're in today is because most of the people that are writing today copied somebody else's style, never actually learned their own voice for writing, and then felt like it was their obligation to then, I don't know, write something meaningful that stood the test of time. If you set out to write a meaningful thing that stands the test of time, you're already not writing correctly, because it's the things that mean something are people just telling interesting stories, or tackling philosophical concepts and arguments and things for themselves that they also present to the watcher or the viewer. So. Yeah,
but I mean, if like post Disney Star Wars, if you're going on stage and you're talking about like all these amazing female characters that are in Star Wars, it's like that kind of like undercuts the good female characters that there already were in Star Wars.
100%.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, because you're putting an emphasis on something that was never a weakness.
Yeah,
and then you're saying we have to shore up this. Go ahead, Chad.
And we know that like that was not actually their real agenda, as evidenced by them firing Gina Carano, right?
Yeah,
that was one of the strongest female characters they had in decades, and that's ultimately what made her a threat, and that's why they had to fire her.
Yep.
Keep in mind, people, like Gina Carano was not a big conservative darling when she started work as Cara Dune. She people liked her in people liked her movies like in Haywire and stuff, and they liked her body of work. And then
I think a lot of people just didn't really know, she didn't really ever speak out about.
She didn't. That was the thing.
Politics,
She was a good actress that people enjoyed, and they liked her in Deadpool and stuff. So then when she got Cara Dune, and you watch that character, you're like, I actually like this character. I think she's pretty rad. And it had nothing to do with her political alignment at all. It was after the fact that you learned Disney targeted her and then fired her because in real life she was a strong woman, and they don't like strong people. Like Chad said, once you start not towing the line, they get real antsy about it. It's I mentioned this the other day with Shuri and Black Panther and stuff. That sequel to Black Panther, like they really don't give Shuri much to do. And it also just happens to be that like around that time there was the coup. And Letitia Wright was very, very vocal about the fact that she didn't agree with a lot of the Disney's policies. And lo and behold, man, they just kind of stopped talking about her.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then magically after that movie came out, we're like, yeah, we recast T'Challa. And then you're like, wow, look at you guys. Like,
yeah. And I think that's concerning because if Dave Filoni is willing to go on stage and spout the virtue signaling nonsense, it just kind of shows that he's willing to do whatever Disney tells him to do. So does anyone genuinely believe that things are going to be better now with Disney Star Wars?
Hell no.
Kathleen Kennedy's gone, because I don't.
I think they'll be different, but I don't think they'll be better.
I think unless they get rid of everybody and they clean out that entire thing,
or
Disney sells.
If somebody drops a nuclear bomb on Disney, then
maybe not that far. But if
I
Disney,
think the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is kind of evidence of what it's going to be like under Dave Filoni. That's his baby.
That movie
it's just incredibly corporate, mediocre garbage.
Oh man, I don't think there's a single movie that I care less about that's coming out than that Mandalorian film. Oh my goodness.
Didn't Galaxy's Edge just announce that they're going to have the classic Star Wars characters finally show up?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, so there is that.
They're in such dire straits that they're like, you know what we'll do? Let's take these old characters that we have shit on for the last 10 years and let's put them in our parks and make people go to those to see them.
Yeah. They're just trying hard to pivot. So
they are. But unfortunately the damage has been done. So
the damage has been done, and you can't pivot fast. These companies do not pivot quickly. They can't.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's one of those things. I don't want to be mean about it, but I also am like, I get these people have contracts, and I get that they're going to try to sue you for wrongful termination and all this stuff, and I get that they have all of this legal recourse that they're going to seek to claim that you're harassing them and all this stuff. But man, you're already losing money. You might as well just put those lawyers you have on retainer to work, Disney, and start firing people. Start letting heads roll, man. Because look at what happened with Star Trek with Picard. Like Picard seasons 1 and 2 are dog shit.
Yep.
Terrible seasons of television that absolutely massacre the characters that are in it. And then they bring in this new writer and he says, yeah, all you old writers, get the fuck out. Hit the fucking bricks. They're like, what? He's like, yeah, I don't want you here. I have no interest in working with you. I'll put my own team together. And Picard season 3, for a bright shining moment, we saw Star Trek again.
Right. Yep.
Different Star Trek because, you have characters in it and stuff that maybe they wouldn't have written before, but you got Star Trek again. You have interesting character pieces and character arcs. I remember hearing the teasers for Picard season 3 and Worf was like a pacifist. And I was like, what? Worf is a pacifist? And I was like, how's that going to work? And then when you watch it and how it actually works, you're like, oh, that's actually pretty rad. I kind of dig that, They even figure out how to bring Data back in a organic, realistic way that didn't feel like garbage. Whereas in season 1 of Picard, he's 45 years older and pudgier, and they still have him wearing the makeup. You're like, guys, stop. Okay.
I did not think it was as successful as Mike did. That being said, it was a significant improvement over what they were putting out. So,
yeah, I think that if they could have continued with if we had 3 seasons of what we got there, I would have been really happy with whatever storyline they came up with. But because they also had to kind of they were kind of coming at it from like, well, they were struggling already. Yeah. But I like Picard season 3 because I like that it didn't shit on my favorite characters in Star Trek, you know, but yeah, I don't think we're going to get anything like that in Star Wars because guess what? The characters that we love and know are gone. Luke's dead. Leia's dead. Han is dead. They're gone. We're never going to get that. We're never going to get those 3 characters in a room together ever again.
It's a crime.
We're never going to get those actors, you know, getting a moment to work with each other and play off of each other. It's funny because like even J.J. Abrams' absolute like massacre of Star Trek that he did in 2009. Part of what works about it is because Leonard Nimoy is fantastic. He was so good at being Spock that he added a legitimacy to the movie that would not have been there.
But his main cast is good in those movies, though.
Yeah, they're good, but they're different. They're still
they are different.
The exception of Carl Urban, who is like,
I mean, Carl Urban
literally the most phenomenal like bones I've ever seen. Like I was like, dude.
He was like dream casting for that character.
I was like, holy shit, he straight up embodied McCoy there, dude.
He's so good in those movies. Like he is the best part of those movies. I mean, I think that his main cast was really, really well casted, but
spoilers for what? Are you talking about spoilers for Star Wars?
Are you kidding me? For a Star Wars movie that
Star
came
Trek
out
2009?
Yeah.
years ago?
Like, I'm not talking like these have been a long time. I'm saying this stuff is not worth your time watching. That's why I'm spoiling it. Like, I'm not going to spoil Breaking Bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers.
I wouldn't spoil a good thing for you, but like dog shit television, I will absolutely spoil that shit for you.
Mm-hmm. And there's no reason to consider the sequel trilogy canon anyways. We can forget about that.
Yeah, well, they do. Star Wars does.
That's okay.
They might be working towards not making it canon.
No, they will never.
I don't think they'll ever do that.
Sequel trilogy. They cannot do that.
That'd be admitting a huge mistake if they did that.
If they had just fired Kathleen Kennedy, like broken the contract, maybe they would have had to pay her, I don't know, like $500 million or something like that, right? As a settlement in court. They lost like $88 billion worth of value in the IP.
Yes.
Man.
It used to be like $90 billion, and now it's like
most
$4
profitable IPs of all time.
Like, imagine where it would be if this Disney shit never happened, man. Where would we be?
Growing up, Star Wars was always relevant.
Yeah.
George Lucas is like, I remade these movies, and people like the old school fans were like, please don't. And he's like, but I did it anyways. And you know what? People bought that shit. But Star Wars is like, whenever you go to the toy store, Star Wars always had a massive section in the toy store. It didn't matter what era we were in. And then when the Phantom Menace got announced, it was fucking huge. This massive cultural event. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's always been. And nowadays, when you go to the store, like Star Wars has like a little strip of like toys, and like everything is like
figures are discounted.
Yeah,
dude. Star Wars is
the lightsabers are like garbage, dude.
Yeah,
I saw an OSHA figure the other day for like $3, and I almost bought it, ironically, just to be like, haha, look what I bought, and then I didn't.
Yeah,
it was not worth the $3 to me.
I used to have a Roast Tico action figure just because World Class Bullshitters used to like do toy hunts with and just he would always find just piles of Roast Ticos, and like that's the only reason I owned that thing. Yeah. And now at this point, Star Wars is like a detriment, like to Hasbro. I'm pretty sure I think it was Black Panther that ended up saving Hasbro's business around the Rise of Skywalker time, wasn't it? Because there
was a major class action suit of like Hasbro's investors where they were suing the company for mismanagement because they went all in on Disney stuff.
That's hilarious. I didn't hear about that. Wow.
Yeah, that's why as a company they're kind of teetering on the edge right now.
That's crazy. Yeah, because the Rise of Skywalker didn't even have a toy line. It had like some figures here and there, but it didn't have like the 3 3/4 inch line. There was none of that.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like
even that's why they've started doing like the HasLab stuff, because they can't afford to just like mass produce stuff. They have to basically do it.
They just keep failing with stuff like that too. Like they can't get the Rancor out. They can't get the. Who asked for Reva's lightsaber? What dumbass made that? Who's making these decisions over there?
They
Yeah.
didn't make it.
Who came up with the idea?
Got funded.
Exactly.
They were like, they're like, hey, here's our idea. Can you fund it? And they couldn't make enough money to even fund a fucking lightsaber.
Yeah, it's like, hey, go to Ollie's, see what's sitting on the shelf right now, pick that character, and we're gonna make a HasLab out of that character's lightsaber. Like,
but then, you know, on the same token, they put out like some Ghostbusters action figures or like a 1984 proton pack, and they're sold out completely within 4 minutes.
Yeah, all the Transformers HasLabs, they've all sold. They've all fully funded, and they're all like
you put out
Japanese characters and shit.
Well, if you today were like Star Wars is like, hey, we're making a Jar Jar Binks character, it would sell more than any toy that Reva's ever been part on.
Factual.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jar Jar fucking Binks.
Yep.
People actually have legitimate nostalgia for that now. It's like,
yes,
you know, at one point we thought those were the worst movies in the world, and now we're like, oh, you know, those are actually looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Like by comparison.
I've always liked the Phantom Menace. To be honest, I kind of dig the political shit. It's boring.
Yeah, the harsh reality is that they have aged very well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still will die on the hill that the Attack of the Clones is maybe
rough.
the worst Star Wars movie when it comes to the technical aspect of it. Because man, that CGI looks like garbage.
I think yeah.
But
Phantom
what
Menace,
it does,
rewatching that again recently, like I actually legitimately was like, this movie's actually pretty freaking solid. I like this movie a lot. So
it's a ton of political intrigue. It's just people talk. People standing around making votes. And
as adults, that's a lot more interesting for sure. So I mean,
like especially when you know that this is the Empire that's going to end up getting made. So you know, knowing what it leads up to for sure.
And you get a good there's a good formula to it too, dude. Because what happens when the movie really starts dragging? Guy pulls out a lightsaber. And you're like, there it is. That's all I asked for. Dude. Yeah. And it's funny because the moment where like the Darth Maul duel, like you've earned it at that point because you've had to sit through a lot of other things building up to this moment. Whereas nowadays Star Wars, they cannot wait to ignite a lightsaber to show you, cool, look at that Jedi stuff happening, isn't that fun? You know, and
to the point where it has no meaning anymore.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly it. Yep. And
nothing
the thing is, like,
meaning in these movies.
Back in the day, like
when somebody ignited a lightsaber, you know some shit was going to go down because nobody did that unless they intended to use it.
Yep. And that's why I know some Star Wars fans didn't like it, but still, I still think it's pretty cool. When Yoda shows up and he's like talking to Count Dooku and he's like, yo, bro, I straight up came to kill you. And he's like, yeah. Yoda like pulls his little cloak back, pulls out a little lightsaber. I was like, yo, it's going down. Like, you done made Yoda pull out the blicky. Like, he's like, yo, you know?
But guys, don't you like it in Solo when Darth Maul appears and stands up and ignites his lightsaber for no reason? Isn't that awesome?
Dude, that was such garbage. Solo's bad. Solo could have been good, but it was bad.
Yeah, there are elements of it that aren't totally terrible, but it's a piece of shit.
It's not as bad as people say it is. It's not great by any means. It's very mid, but
the parts that don't work about it are them trying to explain anything about his backstory. And the parts that work about it is just it's a heist movie set in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, and I think Alden Ehrenreich does a decent job, and what's her face, Khaleesi, it's not bad. It's not.
I'm by myself. Okay, I'll name you Han Solo. Thanks. Fuck you.
That's so cringe, dude.
I do actually think Donald Glover was like good casting for Lando. So I didn't think it was good. It's not a terrible movie. In my opinion, it's better than pretty much every other movie they made.
Yeah.
So
it's incredibly mediocre. But
it's fine.
In comparison, that's better.
I think it's a mostly inoffensive movie. Unlike
I was pretty offended by parts of it, but
I don't know. Yeah. Have you seen The Rise of Skywalker? That movie.
All that would have mattered to me in a Han Solo movie, like that I would have wanted to see happen is the theme of why he learns to shoot first. That would have been the only thing that you really needed to check a box for, is by the end of it, him learning, you know what, I can't trust people. I can only rely on myself. And I got to make that, that's my thing. And that would have been cool. But they got to explain his backstory and where he got his fucking blaster and all this other shit. And the fact that they had to set up the whole, what the Kessel Run was and explain it to you and explain where he got the Falcon from. I would have loved that to be in the sequel. You could have done a movie about him and established some things and it just been a good outing. That's the thing about Star Wars, is like, you can do good stuff with that. People love Andor seasons 1 and 2. They say some of the best Star Wars no one's ever seen. I've seen multiple people that I trust say that it's a really good show, and I believe them. Because the best part about Star Wars is if you can write a good movie, Star Wars movie, and never ignite a lightsaber. If you bring in lightsabers, like, it just makes it better. Like, that's the thing. Like, the lightsaber thing is like kind of the selling point. The Space Wizards is the selling point, but the rest of it, if it works really well, works really well. Like, yeah, the Rebel Alliance is like a rad story, like against these punks like fighting against the Empire and stuff. That stuff is really cool. And you also just happen to have Space Wizards in the background who fighting for the soul of the galaxy. I don't know, man.
Didn't the lesbian droid become the Millennium Falcon, by the way?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Come on.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I believe, is what was the droid.
Oh, yep, that's right.
I had
Yeah,
sex
that was
with
her that played
Lando,
her.
and now I'm the Millennium Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally.
That's how it works.
Like, I'm supposed to consider that canon.
I mean, to be fair, that's why C-3PO had to like argue with her and the hyperdrive motivator and stuff.
Yeah,
because they were like, yeah, the hyperdrive like doesn't want to work. Yeah, because it's Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
No wonder,
has to
bro.
has to argue with everyone.
Oh man.
Well,
And droid rights.
yeah. Speaking of Phoebe Waller-Bridge,
Yeah.
we got our first look at Lara
We
Croft.
did.
Yeah,
Wait,
and
what does that have to do with
lot of mixed feelings about it. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm curious what you guys think. If you haven't already seen this, I'm curious what you guys think.
Because Phoebe Waller-Bridge is the showrunner on this, I think,
She
right?
is the
Oh,
showrunner
okay,
on
okay.
this.
Yeah.
This is Sophie Turner.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ben.
You're welcome.
I think that's absolutely the worst casting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that looks like some bad cosplay.
Yeah, when they announced Sophie Turner, I was already turned off the show.
Yeah.
From this angle, it looks like one arm is bigger than the other. It's so strange.
It's just the way
Yeah,
she's got it behind her.
Yeah, it's just like with the lighting, it makes it look.
Let me
that
see if
way.
I can find the original image, the first one that I saw, because this is not the first one I saw. Here's the thing. The first image I saw, I actually didn't think was bad. Hold on, here it is right here. This is actually the first image I saw.
I don't even think like
Okay, hold on. Boom.
I
There we
don't
go.
think she looks horrendous. I just don't think she's a good casting.
This was the first
Like-
image I saw of it, and she has the gun holsters. I like that they did the original costume. I get that they kind of wash out the colors, maybe so it's not as like bright and shiny. But I was like, at least they tried to go with the costume. Sophie Turner is very skinny, which is what I was concerned about.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people's biggest issue is they don't like her boobs.
I was gonna say I don't hate the concept of it. I just think it doesn't work on her.
So that's what we got. I mean, she
Yep,
worked out.
there
You
it
can
is.
see it. She's still skinny as shit, but she definitely worked out and tried to get bigger for things. But compared to Angelina Jolie, like I can understand why people are like not happy about it. But I'm gonna be honest, I haven't heard anybody say this, but this looks way better than Alicia Vikander.
Well, Lacey Vikander had similar, like, I feel like her build's pretty similar too. So, like, neither of them look as you would expect Lara Croft.
I also kind of think she's a better actress.
Oh, I do think she's
Lacey
a better
Vikander's a
actress.
good
Yeah.
actress.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they gave her like the wrong Lara Croft to like be. They gave her like the weird, gritty, like grounded, dirty.
The video game one? Like new video game one.
New video game one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean I like those video games, but
Yes.
yeah, I don't know. I just think Sophie Turner's bad casting. I don't really know who I would have chosen to play Lara Croft, but I just don't think she's not the first person that comes to mind.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings here. Okay, I know people are gonna. Sydney Sweeney is not the right choice for Lara
No,
Croft.
Sydney Sweeney would be a
Just
horrible.
because
Lara
she
Croft.
has great tits does not mean she's just gonna make a good Lara Croft.
No. Mm-mm. No, sir. No, sir. All I've been seeing is like these people who are like on Twitter saying this is what we deserved with Lara Croft, and I'm like, no, it was still wasn't going to be good if that was the case.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe the show will be great. I still just don't think she's good casting.
It's not going to be a great show. I can tell you that right now. Unfortunately, I would like to be more excited about it, but it's Phoebe Waller-Bridge. There's no way that woman allows a faithful adaptation of Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
There's just absolutely no way that happens.
Yeah, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is she's awful, to be honest. So
yeah, well, I mean, and when you look at like what Lara Croft represents, she's idol rich. She's appropriating cultural artifacts. She's like using her sexuality to like, get what she wants. Like it's all of the things that Phoebe Waller-Bridge hates.
Yeah.
So it's like, of course, we're not going to get that character.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
This is what we lost out on.
I mean, I don't like her as.
I mean,
either. So.
Huh?
Yeah.
No.
Wait, what?
No, I never liked Angelina Jolie.
Wait.
This isn't news to you.
Wait.
I've known this for years.
Wait.
What, Ben?
So, wait. Yeah, I don't like Angelina Jolie, and I don't like her as Lara Croft. Sorry.
I feel like we have been through this.
We have. We've talked about this before. This isn't
I
news.
don't remember Ben's nonsense.
This isn't news.
It's not like
news.
This isn't. There's no archive where I store these things. The only reason I remember some of the things that Ben has said to me is because it elicited.
I do. I store it all up here.
For me, it elicits such an angry, like violent response that
That's because I understand.
It burned like a piece of memory onto my wall of my brain.
Everybody's sexual awakening was Angelina Jolie, Mike.
My sexual awakening was Angelina Jolie, but I can acknowledge that the woman was gorgeous.
She looks like a horse. High cheekbones and all.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy work.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
I'm not
crazy
wrong.
work.
You are.
I'm not wrong. You put
1,000%
that image
wrong.
side by side with a horse. I can't tell the difference.
Jeez, dude. Ben just wants to see Ryan Gosling as Lara Croft. That's all he wants. Then he'll be happy.
Yep. Sorry. That was brutal. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
Stupid games, Ben.
I'm flabbergasted, to be honest. Flabbergasted.
I'm actually genuinely shocked there's people agreeing with me in the chat. I thought this take might ostracize me from the entire community. But here we are.
Surprisingly, it's not your worst take, Ben. So, yeah. Don't worry. You've said things that are worse than that. So, yeah. You're
I know
good.
I've said a lot.
It's been a long year. It's been a long year.
Yeah. What have you guys seen? What George R.R. Martin is saying about House of the Dragon? Because it's not looking great. So.
Yeah, I don't really care. Dude hasn't finished any books in years. I don't really care what he says. So, sorry.
Oh,
There you go. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Great
Well-
job, Ben. Way to shut down the discussion.
Well,
Yeah, well, hey.
oh my
I'm good.
gosh. Josiah, what did he say? What did he have to say?
well, I'm glad you asked,
I was gonna
Mike,
leave to
'cause,
go pee, and then Ben just like immediately killed the conversation. So I was like, "What do you guys think?" Like, George, did you hear what George R. R. Martin said? Ben's like, "I don't give a I don't want to hear anything he has to say. I don't care about anything."
Well, George R. Martin is giving some red flags for House of the Dragon. I guess depending on how you look at it, this could very well go the way of Game of Thrones, with the way that they are interacting with him and stuff. But this is what he had to say about House of the Dragon and leading up into season 3 and stuff. It's worse than Rocky. It's abysmal. I hired Ryan, who is the showrunner. I thought Ryan and I were partners, and we were all through the first season. I would read early drafts of the scripts. I would give notes. He would change some things. It was working really well, I thought. Then we got to season 2, and he basically stopped listening to me, which is interesting because even for me, I noticed that there was definitely kind of a step down for season 2 in House of the Dragon. And I know there's people that disagree with me. I know that I think it was Mark the Cyborg was like freaking out when I was saying that about season 2. I know that Ben was throwing a huge tantrum when I was talking about season 2 not being that great and stuff compared to season 1, especially with all of the stuff having to do with what's his Matt Smith's character's name, all of his stuff. So the signs were already there, and it looks like that going to season 3, it might not be very good. So sometimes he would explain why he wasn't doing it. Other times he would tell me, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll think about that." It got worse and worse, and I began to get more and more annoyed. Finally, it got to a point where I was told by HBO that I should submit all my notes to them, and they would give Ryan our combined notes. So basically, they basically completely shut out George R. R. Martin from House of the Dragon, which to me is not a very good sign when you have, the literal author of and the creator of this entire world, and you're shutting him out. That to me just doesn't seem like a very good idea. So yeah, season 3, it'll be interesting to see where that goes, because I'm concerned seeing this. And then he ended by saying that this is not my story any longer.
Damn.
So yeah, not good. Nate, did you watch have you seen House of the Dragon?
No, well, I plan on watching the original Game of Thrones first, unless you recommend otherwise.
Oh yeah. You haven't seen Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I got to go through that disaster, at the end there.
Yeah. Well, I think
I mean, it's only a disaster in like the
At
last
the end,
season.
yeah.
But
I think you should, because I think everyone should feel the pain and
that we felt.
Yeah,
the
I'm down.
suffering.
Yeah, I never have enough stuff to bitch about, so.
Yeah. Well, if you want something to bitch about, then that'll be something for sure. So
Yes.
Yeah, and so Ben doesn't care at all what George R. R. Martin has to say, which
Nah,
is
bro.
interesting.
Guy hasn't released his books. I don't really give a crap what he has to say till he finishes the series, unless he never does, and then I really don't care.
So you think that completely invalidates all of what he's created with Game of Thrones?
I mean, I think that if he doesn't ever finish the series, yeah, the entire creation of his series is invalidated.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So despite the fact that he is the literal creator of this entire world.
Yep. Get him out.
That's okay.
I just came back and I just heard Ben say something silly.
Maybe he should stop sitting on. Maybe he was just eating all their food, and they
we
were
can
like,
all
"You know
agree-
what, bro?
we
Get
can all
out of
agree
here."
that George R. R. Martin has been dragging his feet when it comes to
Dragon.
his books and stuff.
Dragon.
Dragon.
But that doesn't. I think that's insane to say that invalidates the fact that he is the creator of this world, and we shouldn't be
I'm just
listening to him.
saying-
And in fact, you're
I'm
shutting
just-
him out.
I'm just saying,
From
if
House
the
of the
man
Dragon.
really cared about his story and his world, he would finish his damn books instead of worrying about what they're doing with the television show that he apparently doesn't care about. Like any real fan of Game of Thrones wants to see what he has in his books, but he's not going to finish them. He's just going to die, and then his legacy is going to fizzle out because the show was trash and the book never got a real ending. So it's just going to fizzle.
So you think that the writers and the showrunners and stuff on House of the Dragon are going to be better off from shutting out George R. R. Martin?
I mean, at this rate, he seems like he's a grumpy old man that's ready to just throw in the towel.
The thing is, he's not even writing the show. He's just like giving input to like what they're doing.
I don't know, man. I just don't care a whole lot about George R. R. Martin.
Now, look, let me make it very clear. I think George R. R. Martin is a piece of shit. Okay, let me make it
is
very clear. Okay, and I think that he is a very overrated author in a lot of ways. And but all of that aside, I still think it's pretty crazy that they're doing this to the author, and I think that that's usually not a really good sign.
I don't know. I'd be curious to hear both sides of the story for this. Because all this guy does is whine about everything. George R. R. Martin has been whining about this stuff for years. It's true. He's a freaking whiny child about everything that is involving the property that he's created. All he does is whine and not finish his story. So I really don't care. I don't care. I don't care about him. I don't care about anything he has to say. If the show's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I just don't care.
You loved Elden Ring, though.
It's pretty whiny of you, Ben.
I was just thinking, hey guys, what if we just shut Ben out?
That's okay. I'm used to it.
Well, it's funny enough that Ben mentions that because George R. R. Martin also did kind of say more about some stuff recently, and he actually was talking about the fact that he's still working on his book.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
He did say that. He said that. Well, what he explained was that what his story is going to be and how it plays out is going to be different than how the series ended, which I still think that a lot of people do too, that he pivoted because his original ending was supposed to be what we got in Game of Thrones, but they botched it so badly. Now he has to go back and rewrite the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
He did like a whole interview, the Hollywood Reporter, but I'll read a couple of these quotes. He said the ending for his A Song of Ice and Fire series will be significantly different from Game of Thrones. The book's ending is going to be significantly different. Some characters who are alive in my book are going to be dead in the show and vice versa. I was going to kill more people, not the ones they killed in the show. They made it more of a happy ending. I don't see a happy ending for Tyrion. His whole arc has been tragic from the first. I was going to have Sansa die. She's so appealing in the show. Maybe I'll let her live. So I think that he's probably going back and rewriting, and I think that's why it's taking him so long. He's stuck. You know.
This quote from him I thought was hilarious. He said about Where Winds Meet. I do think if I can just get some of these other things off my back, I could finish.
Yes, I saw that too.
Sorry, not Where Winds Meet. The Winds of Winter pretty soon. It's been made clear to me that winds is the priority, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for that. I'm so far behind on everything.
Bro, isn't he like 80? What does he have going on?
I mean, I think he'd. Well, I mean, he's getting
lost a ton
like
of weight
wrapped up in all
too.
these other like properties and all these other IPs and stuff.
Yeah, he's not finishing the books. Like, the sooner we admit that, the sooner we can all just move on with our lives. You know, it's never ending.
Is there a polymarket thing for that? Because I want to place a bet.
It's actually great. Kalshi, maybe? I don't know, bro. That's crazy. I like, genuinely though, I just don't care about this man or anything he is doing anymore. I do not care.
So would you say fuck George R. R. Martin?
Yeah. And his books. That's just right. Yeah. His books aren't even good. I'll say it. All right. His story he created, his world he created. Yeah, sure. It's great. But the books themselves, I don't know if you guys have ever read them. They're an absolute snooze fest. They're not good books.
Okay.
They're not. They're not. George R. R. Martin is actually a horrible writer, and I stand by that. A horrible writer. The show did everything that he does in his books 10 times better, and it made it a far more digestible story, and it worked so much better as a television show than it ever did as a book. Those books are awful. Awful books. And they're overly long, they're bloated, they're convoluted. They're terrible books. And I genuinely think that most people here probably haven't read them or taken the time to read them because they are not good, and he is not a good writer.
I don't do a lot of reading anymore, Ben, but if I was a reader, I would have read them.
And they're not good.
It's a lot of descriptions of meals, a lot of eel pies and stuff.
He's overly descriptive about everything. The guy kind of just like, it's like he's masturbating to his own writing the entire time. So
I legit think he is actually a better sci-fi writer than fantasy.
I haven't read anything he's done science fiction related. Has he written like sci-fi books?
Yeah, it's slightly better.
Interesting.
I'm trying to see what he says more. I'm kind of like skimming through this article. Apparently, he lost a bunch of weight, and he says it's not because of his health. I'm like, no, this definitely is.
What the hell is that noise?
To finish his book.
It's Ben.
That's loud as shit.
What?
Sounds about right.
Ben's breaking his webcam even more. So
I am. I was stepping on it.
I'm looking at this, dude. They said that he said during the pandemic he locked himself in a cabin in the woods to finish Winds of Winter. He said he got a lot done during that time, but then he said that at one point he wrote a Tyrion chapter and he just loved. He says, and I looked at it and said, I can't do this. It'll change the whole book. I'll make it into a series of dreams. No, that doesn't work either.
The only reason that Game of Thrones has a legacy at all is because of the television show. Is the only reason it has a legacy. Well, if there was no television show, no one would care. No, they wouldn't care because he hasn't done anything with them in decades at this point, almost. I guess it's just a little bit over a decade since the last one released. But nobody cares anymore about it. They just don't. He's irrelevant.
I mean, if he was a writer and he didn't write massively popular books and they didn't get like a massively popular television show.
But many more eyes were placed on the story, period, because of the television show.
Yes. But you can say the same thing about manga studio, and
well,
you can say
no,
the same thing
not
about
necessarily,
a
though.
There's
a lot of very popular manga.
Yeah, there are, but they
really
get significantly more popular and culturally relevant when they get an anime.
Because they are more accessible to the wider audience. Yes.
Yes, which is what happened with Game of Thrones. I mean, he has a very, very, very strong fan base. They were popular books before it became a TV series.
I don't know, man.
I think you just kind of hate George R.R. Martin.
I do.
Yeah.
But I'll admit that.
But being able to admit that just means that, yeah, I don't know that you can see objectively that his books were very popular.
Because I read his books.
Before the show came out.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But, I mean, how do you feel about George R.R. Martin basically saying that Aragorn was a genocidal maniac?
He's a clown.
And he wants to know what was that? He wanted to know like about Aragorn's what his tax policies would have been.
Yeah, Martin is an absolute clown.
Yeah.
And I see people in the chat trying to play devil's advocate and ask about like Martin's books compared to Tolkien's. I think Tolkien has infinitely more tact in his writing. And then on top of that, his characters are mostly his characters are just that much better. And then on another note, I think that his writing, even though it is wordy and it is definitely older in style, it still flows better and it's not over long. Like Lord of the Rings, I think the largest book in that trilogy is maybe less than 400 pages. I'd have to look it up, but it's not like bloated. The first Game of Thrones book, I think, is almost 1,000 pages, if not over that. And then the consecutive ones after that are in that same range, if not a little bit longer. And they have no reason to be that long. And I feel like you just lose the plot at that point. Tolkien was far more focused, and his writing was far more it was just done better. His characters were done better. His world building was done better.
We have like literally like thousands of pages of notes that Tolkien wrote that he never put in his books.
Right. But
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the books themselves. The reason his books are so good is probably in part because of those notes, but it's not like he was putting those notes in with the books, right? They would have felt convoluted at that point because there was just so much stuff there. I'm talking about just the books themselves on their own merits. I think that Tolkien is just better. Period.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I also
agree,
think that the comparison of he's a little too detailed and his books are overly long. Well, like Tolkien wrote 3 books for the Lord of the Rings. Like I know he wrote The Hobbit and Silmarillion and stuff, but like those are a lot and those are meaty books, but they have a pretty concise story. Like where George R. R. Martin's books, like there are a lot of characters. There are way more characters than there are in Lord of the Rings as far as emphasis on what they're doing and their importance to the plot and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on in these books. They're kind of on a different. I don't know. I just think they're in a very different category. Obviously inspired by Tolkien because just about everybody that's a fantasy writer was.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know, the other thing is like we got Lord of the Rings, some of the best movies of all time, and we got the Hobbit movies, which are not great, but they're okay. But like we've also got House of the Dragon. Now we've got Knight of Seven Kingdoms. Like there's also another spinoff they're working on. I mean, his works have created a massive cultural impact.
And I'm not saying that his worlds themselves that he's created and his characters are inherently terrible. I just don't think that he's a great writer, and I think that his books are overly long and quite boring, to be honest. And that the show elevated his material. The show elevated everything about his material and made it what it is today. I don't think, like I said, I still don't think it would be as culturally relevant if we didn't have the television show that put more eyes on his story and also made the story more digestible for the wider audience. And then obviously destroyed it at the end of the show. But to begin with, right? It's whereas like with Lord of the Rings, I get that the movies are similar in that way, right? Where they do make it more digestible for the wider audience, but I don't think those books are a slog to get through. They're not painful to read because they are actually good. I don't think that his books are that good. I think that he has good ideas and a good overarching story and decent characters, but all of those things combined in that package of the book just don't work as well as the television show does. The television show does that story so many favors, whereas with Lord of the Rings, you have a masterpiece on your hand with the books, and you have a masterpiece on your hands with the movie.
But I mean, with all that, like, you can say whatever you want about George R. R. Martin being like not a great writer and stuff, but I mean, don't you still kind of think that it's kind of wild that they're like basically completely cutting him out of the?
We're still talking about House of the Dragon. Okay.
I mean, am I the only one that thinks that's kind of crazy? I don't know.
I get it. I guess from a creative perspective,
what do you think is kind of crazy?
The fact that they're like basically completely shutting out George R. R. Martin for House of the Dragon.
Yeah, I do think that's crazy. I absolutely do. Yeah, because like I mean, the House of the Dragon stuff.
If they were already starting to do that in season 2, maybe I'm in the minority here. I didn't think that season 2 was as good as season 1. To be honest.
And the parts that are not as good are the parts that diverge from the source material. That's what just about everybody will agree with that.
Yeah.
Damon spent way too much time in Harrenhal or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's a lot of things there, and the writers admitted they don't understand why people like Damon so much, and so they didn't want to put as much emphasis on him and stuff. There's a lot of things there that point to the fact that there is an attempt to insert like. Here's the thing: if compared to the greatest writers of all time, George R. R. Martin is in the top 200. He is still one of the best writers in the world today, based on what we have for writers today. There are very few modern writers.
It's not a
today.
high bar. Most modern writers are awful.
But hold on though. But the point is, even if you're still the best at what you do, or one of the best at what you do, you're still better than anybody else right now out there, and that is something that needs to be considered. You know, maybe you're never going to reach the same heights, but it's still, the fact is, like, what he's putting together and the world he's put together is more interesting than anything that we've seen from just about any other fantasy project in the last like 10 years.
I didn't read
including Lord of the Rings.
I don't know. I did not read Fire and Blood, so I don't have
even if you don't even if you just watch House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon is objectively better than Rings of Power in every way, shape,
or form. In every way.
Every single way.
But that's George R.R. Martin's work.
Okay, but there's the difference is the Rings of Power has taken every bit of source material and treated it with the utmost disrespect, whereas I feel like there's still at least some respect for the source material.
You realize what you just said? You just proved Josiah's point. The
point
is, because they disrespected the source material of the writer, it got worse. And as anybody would argue, Game of Thrones got bad when they diverged from George R.R. Martin's source material.
But
the more they went away from his stuff, the worse it got.
But George R.R. Martin's source material, ultimately, at the end, if he doesn't finish his series, will be invalid.
But even if he
it
gave them an outline
matter.
of it,
I don't agree with that, Ben. I actually don't.
I think it does matter, Ben, because the argument was that they didn't follow the outline that they had, and they could have continued with the writing. They could have limped along.
Knowing him, he was probably going to do the exact same thing they ended up doing in the TV show.
Yes. But
once again, would have been trash.
No, listen, Ben, the point is, the writing, when they had his source material, was infinitely better than when they started doing it themselves. And the only time that the show started getting good was when they were hitting plot beats that we all kind of expected George R.R. Martin was going to hit. When they diverged from that, they got less good feedback from the fans. And then the ending, if it was George R.R. Martin's ending, made sense to an extent, but the parts that people didn't like were the parts that felt like it wasn't in line with the show. Like, the thing is, like, the show, part of the reason that people love the show so much is because that first 4 seasons establishes a lot of things that are even unwritten rules that people don't realize they're following, which is things like, if you don't play the Game of Thrones, you die. That is a rule in the show. If you're a person that doesn't follow the rules of the game, you die. It also shows that men of honor will often lose to people that are treacherous, but people that are treacherous get far worse endings. There's a lot of play there and a lot of setup and payoff and things that people really appreciated, and the show didn't do those things, and whenever it didn't, it wasn't to subvert expectations. It's because they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that the show elevated the source material.
I think the show did a good job of adapting the source material, yes.
It adapted it and it elevated it.
But it needed him to make it what it was.
Well, he made the books. So, of course, the show wouldn't be around without the books.
It needed him to make it what it was, not just what he wrote. It needed his framework. It needed everything that he put together to do it. And maybe they trimmed off some fat. That's cool. But, like, the show is ultimately his writing that they did well with, and they got bad when they didn't have him to write about or write with. And I think that writing him out of House of the Dragon will make the show significantly worse. And we saw that already with season 2. And based on what's coming, and based on the juggling act that entire timeline has to get to where they get to and where they are going to lead to in the future, I absolutely think those writers will drop the ball.
We'll see.
But I think you proved Josiah's point, Ben.
And it's interesting because when you look at Game of Thrones, like, he pretty much fell completely out of the loop of what was going on after season 4, which is, kind of where it started to take a turn. So
I don't know. I mean, I think that show's pretty great for the most part up until season 7.
You think season 5, 6, and 7 were good, Ben?
Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff in that in those seasons of that show.
The great stuff, Ben, was the stuff that George R.R. Martin had set up.
He set up everything because he started the story. But a lot of those plot points,
It didn't
a
fall
lot
off a
of those-
cliff in season 5, but
a
you
lot
can
of
see
those
the
continuing
downhill
plot points
trajectory
are
that it was going
not
with it.
written in the books.
The bad plot points aren't. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
I disagree.
I mean, they never introduced Lady Stoneheart. That's a huge plot point, which a lot of the rumors were that she was going to be the one to resurrect Jon Snow, and that would have been a very poetic moment in the show that very much falls in line with his writing. The woman that hated the bastard child of her husband is the man that is fated to save the world, and she has to use her power to save him. Very poetic. They didn't do that because they didn't want another resurrection in the show. Like, you can see how modern writing fails when up against George R.R. Martin's world and the world that he crafted.
Yeah.
Shutting out I think I agree with Josiah. Shutting out the source, the creator of the source material, is basically a death knell for your show. It's one thing when you're crafting your own thing, but when you're adapting someone's work, shutting out the creator is the worst thing you could do.
Yeah, it worked for McDonald's.
I mean, especially when it's just like a simple like input, like when you're just like having him out as like an advisor of the show or whatever, like I don't know.
Yeah,
Shut
I don't
him
know.
out is pretty crazy. So
I mean, yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I can meet you in the middle and say that. Yeah, sure.
I mean, and
not a great idea.
I'm gonna be honest. Like some of the things that I've been hearing about season 3 of House of the Dragon, it's not sounding like it's heading in a good direction. So, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, only time will tell, I guess.
Season 1 was so good too, man.
Season 1 is exceptional television.
Oh, okay. This makes sense. Max Payne. Ben got banned from a George R.R. Martin book signing and has been holding a grudge ever since. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. Thank you.
Man, darn,
he showed up
you
dressed
caught
as
me.
he made his own
caught
Khaleesi
me.
like cosplay before they ever made the show.
That's
He was
crazy.
like-
Excited, and he's like, "Ew, get him out!"
He's like, I got a copy of my book. I'm going to give to George R.R. Martin.
You caught me. Darn. I didn't think they would find out.
It's about
Chad.
milking you, minotaurs.
Yeah. Gotta milk those minotaurs.
You're talking about that Minotaur milking farm or whatever it's called?
yeah.
That's crazy.
You know the book that you wrote, Ben? Yeah. Under
we
a
got
pen
super
name, of
chats.
course.
Wait, did I write that one?
Yes. We all know this, Ben. All right,
wild.
yeah,
I-
we do
not
have some
even
super
that.
chats. All right, let's do super
Let's
chats
read
and then
them.
we can get into the do you have a tier list, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Let's do it.
really quick.
All right, Ben,
this-
fire it off.
The Mystery 809 for Canadian $5 says, "Can I get a Meek griddle with a Meek cash from the owner of Meek Donald's?"
Oh.
Sure.
Mike, is
Thank you.
is this a new
No.
like franchise that you're starting here?
No.
Is
What is
this
this,
like
Mike? What is this?
No,
what's going on here, Mike?
Thank you for that super chat.
I'm gonna kill the tier list. I'm just gonna do it.
Can I get a big meek
I'm just gonna kill the fucking
A big
tier
meek?
list. I'm just not
Big
gonna do it.
Meeky.
with some of that?
Can
some
I
of
get
that- some of that meek sauce on there?
Can I get a
some of that-
chocolate meek shake?
Can I get some of that meeky sauce there?
The meat
I'm gonna
nuggets.
kill the tier list, and I'm just gonna go to bed.
Legendary Scrub for $2 says, "Mike, can I get corporate's number from you? Are you gonna file for sexual
I'll be
harassment?"
back.
Harbinger 9446 for $5 says, "Meek playing the majority of his games on high-powered corn tortillas, Bardo flat."
Okay, that's actually kind of funny.
Hear that super chat?
Chad, did you watch Mario Kart yesterday?
I did not.
We started, me, Marvin, and X-Wing all started doing Jesse Ventura impersonations.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm talking about his like, because he has a, what is it? I have a silo full of corn tortillas. I have 2,000 gallons of potable water. Yeah, it was the most wild shit ever. Yeah.
Nice.
Harbinger. Oh wait, no, I just read that one. Sorry.
I
Nope.
just read that one, Ben. Wow.
Yep.
Quagmire 13 for $5 says, "Geez, I had to type in EpicVerse just to find you guys.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad
YouTube
you
hates
found
us.
us. I'm glad you found us.
That's
Quagmire.
That does happen every time I try to search EpicVerse. Like you have to search EpicVerse Studios, otherwise Epic Universe just comes up.
Yep.
Hmm.
It's true.
Hmm.
Thank you for that super chat.
I don't know.
And
We'll have
I'm
to
glad
see
you
them
found
over
it.
that. I
I'll
don't
beat him one day.
Legendary Scrub for $2 says, 30 minutes in and no topics. I'm out.
We're Respect.
Harbinger 9446 for $5 says Return to Moria was actually a really good game. Az played it. It did the Fellowship references really well. I don't really care what Az plays, and I don't really care if he likes or dislikes a game. And honestly, it will never get me to play a game. So,
Ben,
thank you for that super chat.
Jeez, oh fucking Pete's, Ben, you're like
I will make enemies with everybody.
You're like a slighted
on the
gay
internet,
man, bro. Like somebody brings up like Patricia, and you're like, I hate that bitch.
Literally, you bring up British people.
Like nobody asked that. Nobody said, hey, well, blah blah blah. Somebody just said Az played it and he liked it. And Ben's like, what? I don't give a fuck what that bitch likes. Fuck him and fuck whatever he plays. I'll never listen to him.
Same energy. And guess what? I don't really care what any Brit has to say. All right.
Wow! I didn't know you hated Disparate too. That's crazy.
Don't try to fix it. Don't try to fix it.
You know how much of how big my disdain for the British is.
My favorite.
You were literally the redcoats, Ben. Yeah. You were the redcoats.
I was just gonna say he called us the other side.
You called us the other side.
If Disparu was here right now, I would love to watch him just cook.
Why do you think I don't like him?
He would just cook.
Thank you for that super chat, Harbinger. Appreciate it.
Because you
X and Wonderland member for 3 months says I never rewatch shows except for the shows I rewatch.
I was the governor of Minnesota. I had the only I had the only legitimate election in Minnesota in the last 35 years. They voted me in unanimously. It's never happened before.
That's crazy.
And then after I became governor, look who comes along, Mr. 21-inch arms Arnold Schwarzenegger, to become the governor of California.
Ben, you do know that Tolkien is British, right?
If I wanted to be the governor of California, I could do it too.
If you
it's
you
a
missed
low
it,
bar.
You missed it in there. I said the modern Brit. I don't
live in the United States. I don't live in the continental United States.
Or C.S. Lewis.
I live in the Baja for 9 months out of the year. I have 100 dogs.
Phil's cousin for $5 says, I understand Ben not rewatching shows. I never rewatched the streams he was in. Thank you for that super chat. Although anybody who rewatches streams might be a psychopath. So thank you.
Well, what if you like missing stuff, and then you
still might be a psychopath. I don't know.
Yeah.
Butter framed in gold.
You know what's
$5.
really psychopathic, Ben? Nobody investigating Tower 7.
Butter framed in
Tower
gold.
7 fell.
What do you think about Tower 7, Ben?
What do you think about Tower 7, Ben?
Sounds like a government conspiracy theory.
Tower 7 fell without being touched by any planes. They were trying to cover up something.
What do you think, Ben?
I don't know. I'm so confused right now.
What do you think? What do you think about 9/11, Ben?
I'm not answering that question right now.
What do you think about 9/11, Ben?
I refuse
you have to
comment.
investigate. The fuel from the jets, it couldn't have melted those steel beams. I know this because I was a Navy SEAL.
Ben is like, I don't care. I was on the other side.
I was a Navy SEAL, and I know what explosives can really do. I've seen thermite in action. Have you?
Butter framed to gold for $5 says I binge all of Game of Thrones to get caught up the week before the last episode in 2 weeks.
Man, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Why don't you tell me?
Thank you for the super chat. X in Wonderland for $2 says Benologasm.
No, that's not what it says.
Benologasm. Thank you for that super chat. That's crazy. Legendary Scrub for $2 says an hour in and no topic. I've had enough. Thank you for that super chat, Legendary Scrub. Mazza Sopranos for $2 says, "Where's Fat Boy Mazza?" I don't know.
I miss Mazza. We need to get him back on.
Yeah, he's probably
whacking it somewhere in his closet, or that. Johnny's for $5 says, "Whoa, wait. Let me tell you something. The real question is, who is Lara Croft? Who is Lara Croft? I don't know." Laura. Thank you for that super chat. Colorado Kiddo for $2 says Bent is the biggest fig ever.
Straight to the point.
Wow. Thank you for that super chat. That's crazy. Justin Martin's Vern for $5 says Ben really does deserve the hate sometimes. Wow,
That's pretty good.
that's crazy. Anyway, thank you.
Dried figs are excellent preservative foods.
Thank you for that.
I store them in my shed in totes.
Lord Botha for $2 says
The
Kathleen
sheds are
Kennedy-
guarded by my dog. I have over 100 dogs. They guard my compound in the Baja.
says Kathleen Kennedy is gone. Hashtag Doomcock was right.
They guard my shed in the Baja.
Thank you.
He was definitely right eventually. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A decade later, yeah.
It's like saying Jesus is gonna come back, guys. He's coming back. Look, he came back. I was right.
One day, the heat death of the universe will happen.
Legendary Scrub for
You're like,
$5.
Okay, man.
Says Ben having a rare good take is the second biggest win of the night. The first is bringing Blade back. Thank you for that super chat.
You guys still got to pay for him, okay? Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here, Chad. Okay?
Yeah, he still costs.
Just because we brought him back doesn't mean you guys still don't got to pay for you guys still got to cough up, okay? Let's just make that perfectly clear, okay?
Cough up.
All right.
Yeah. Null White 4146 for $2 says Ben read Sand Kings by George R.R. Martin.
There you
Thank
go.
for that super chat, and I appreciate the
Read it, Ben.
Yeah.
Maybe. Phil's cousin for $5 says kick Ben for being right. It's making me feel disgusting. I agree. George R.R. Martin is trash. Thank you for that super chat. Legendary Scrub for $2 says I bought a Tolkien collection, 12 books, 6,000 pages.
Hell
sick.
yeah.
Thank you for that super chat.
Hell yeah.
Butter Framed in Gold for $2 says put Ben in it and make him lame and gay. Too late. Thank you for that super chat. That's crazy. Somebody PQ1JQ for $2 says George R.R. Martin is a good short story writer. I wouldn't know. Thank you.
Read
for
some of the short stories, Ben. Come on.
I will.
Get to it.
I don't think you will.
Harbinger 9446 for $5 says remember Meek. Meeky Barney is on this week for the Blade and Justice last week. I have the screenshot. LOL.
Yes.
Thank you for that super chat.
Okay. All right.
I
don't remember that.
but I probably did.
Johnny's
Say
for
a lot of
$2 says
things,
Ben
but-
really does deserve hate all the time. That's crazy. X in Wonderland for $2 says the Baja Ben.
The Baja.
You gotta, you know.
Ben, can you do a Jesse Ventura impression?
No.
Yes,
Try it.
Ben, hold
Come
on.
on,
Stop.
Come
Ben,
on.
stop.
Come on.
I believe
Ben.
you can. Let me
The
rephrase it this way.
Baja.
That's a little gay.
Kind of feels like you didn't put a lot of effort into that.
Come on, Ben. You're good at impersonations. Come on.
The Baja.
I don't like that.
It doesn't feel like you really tried.
It does feel like I really tried.
It doesn't feel like you're really trying here.
Oh. But I am.
I don't live in the continental United States.
Throw your back into it, Ben. Come on.
They don't have they're
the
very flexible about their taxes in the Baja.
The Baja.
There's practically no laws there. I could kill a man with a pencil and feed him to my dog. I have over 100 dogs.
That's crazy.
They could eat a man's body in under 2 hours. The entire thing. And I wouldn't go to jail for it because I did my civic duty as a Navy SEAL and as the governor of Minnesota. They told me I did the investigation myself. I was the least corrupt politician in all of the history of the United States.
I can't.
They said if I had ran for president, I would have got voted in unanimously. You know who else did that, Ben?
Wild guess, Ben. Wild guess.
I'm waiting.
See, you don't know your history because you weren't a Navy SEAL. If you had been in the military, you would have known the answer to this. It's George Washington. George Washington was the greatest president we ever had.
Ben was like, nah, he was on the other side.
You know who you know who the second greatest president was? Grover Cleveland, but you probably didn't know that, did you? Because you don't know your history, because you're not a patriot like I am. I'm a patriot. I was a Navy SEAL.
Okay.
Oh,
Harbinger 9446 for $50.
You have to read your history, Ben. It's important.
Says Ben, I may be a Scot, but they're still my people, fella. Blade and Mickey Barney S+.
Do you know who the third best president in history was, Ben?
I don't know.
We never had him because I would never ran for president. I was too busy serving my country in Vietnam.
As one of the Navy SEALs.
Arnold said he had bigger arms than me. I laughed at him. And when I found out he tried to trick me, I purposely stopped working out for 6 months so my arms would be slightly smaller than his. Who got the last laugh now, Arnold? I was a governor first. You had to copy me.
Thank you for that.
Arnold doesn't live in the Baja. He's still paying those California taxes. It's embarrassing, frankly.
Oh man, Harbinger, thank you so much for that 50 pounds,
Not dollars.
not dollars, but
Yeah,
pounds.
50 pounds. Sorry.
Yeah.
I ignore that currency. So, thank you for that super chat.
Pounds.
War Wizard.
British
7.
currency is basically fake dollars. It's not real. There's
For
only
$2.
one real currency in the world. It's potable water.
War Wizard.
Having clean
can't keep
clean
it
drinkable
together.
water is the only way to survive when the bombs start to fly. I
War
learned this in
Wizard.
Vietnam. I once watched a man sell his wedding ring for a sip of water and a pair of clean socks.
War Wizard 7.
You
for
wouldn't
$2.
know this because you didn't serve in the military, because you're not a real patriot.
Says, I know it's a bit, but 9/11 was an inside job.
It's not a
think
bit. We
I
know
think we
that.
all
It was an
agree.
inside job.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Based War Wizard. Thank you. All right, so that is the end of the super chats there. Let's go ahead and hop right into the tier list, shall we?
I mean, I guess.
I am the
This
law.
tier list sucks, but I wanted a shorter tier list.
I respect
tired.
that.
You
I
understand
respect
that the time zones are different here in the Baja for me. It's actually 4 a.m. right now.
Wow, this might be the shortest tier list I've ever seen in my entire life, bro.
Listen, I haven't slept in 87 hours.
That's
Pretty soon we're gonna get a tier list from Mike. It's just one thing on the tier list. Like, what do you guys think about?
But I can stay. I've trained my body to stay awake for weeks on end, living off of corn tortillas and portable water.
All right, so of course we're gonna put Ben at the top because this is the only time Ben is on top. So
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I just did not feel like doing a whole big thing. Okay.
man,
All right. I didn't want to make this a whole big thing. All right. And we're actually gonna go backwards. This is how we're gonna do this. We're gonna work backwards.
you know what?
okay?
We should do a water tier list sometime.
Yes, please.
That's actually.
I
a
have
good
so
idea.
many opinions on water.
All right.
I'm
I don't know
not.
that Ben has
I'm not
opinions on
joking.
water.
I have
I don't-
so
We-
many
we know,
opinions
Ben.
on
Ben has
water.
opinions
Wow.
on water. That's weird.
Josiah and I might have the
Okay.
most opinions on water.
This is gonna be a quick tier list, guys, because I'm tired. Okay. No, I'm not ranking anything from Game of
Every
Thrones.
episode of Game of Thrones, bro.
I do have to add.
That's too much.
I did say I would.
This is a very
Is this just the
tiny
monster
tier
verse?
list.
Because this is what
Yeah.
are we adding?
itty bitty. I respect it. You know, like the monsters are big, but the tier list can be small. You know, I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Size doesn't always matter.
Was that your impression of me, Ben?
No.
That's terrible. See, you wouldn't be able to go undercover if you can't do voices, Ben. I once went undercover for 16 years as a nanny for a very wealthy family who happened to guess what, Ben, who happened to have files in Tower 7.
Ah, that makes sense. Yep,
That's crazy.
it's all connected.
Ben, what did you think about the Skull Island animation?
Wait, there's an
Animation.
animation.
Yeah, nobody saw it. Okay, let's go to the actual movies now.
Wait, I saw that. Hold on, I saw it.
All right, Nate saw it. There we go.
Of course
Okay.
you did.
Yeah, dude, the show is in the MonsterVerse, but it's got nothing to do with anything in the MonsterVerse. I don't know what their like fucking direction for it was supposed to be, because you have one Skullcrawler show up in it, but then that's it. Otherwise, the only connection to the MonsterVerse it has is the scars that Kong has on his chest. Otherwise, like, his design is different. The monsters are all different. None of the characters are from any of the other movies or shows. And it's not that good. There's also like a feminist girl in there that like they show this in the trailer. I think she like kicks a couple of boys or something, and she's like, "Are all boys as dumb as you?" And the boys are like, "Yeah, pretty much." So it does have a monster fight in it at the end, which is cool. So I can't give it an F. I'll put it in D. It's kind of shitty. It's so bad it didn't get a season 2. It actually got a comic book series as a continuation.
Damn.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in F.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that's
pretty
fair.
awful.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Kong. What is this? The New World.
The New Empire, yeah.
That one. A New Empire. Ben,
It's
what
the
do you
only,
think
it's
about
the
this
only one I've not seen.
Wait, what?
I didn't watch the
You haven't
newest one.
seen this one?
You haven't seen this, Ben?
Nope.
What?
I didn't get to see it in theaters, so I just never watched it.
Ben.
These movies
Man.
only deserve to be seen in the
Man.
theater.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
crazy.
Well, Nate, what did you think about this one?
I think it's a C. It's fun to look at, but the story is pretty shit.
Did they really bring Mothra back? I might actually have to watch it now.
That's wild. That's what made you want to get back into this.
Yeah, bro, Mothra's sick.
Why are we putting Skull Island in C?
Did I put Skull Island in this here?
That's the animation, right?
I moved the wrong thing. Hold on.
I thought you just didn't like what I said, so you're like, "Oh, you motherfucker!" I'm
No,
gonna put
no,
this
no,
up
no,
here.
no, no,
It's
no,
like you were doing with Shadows. That
Chaz,
one
what did you
scene.
think about Godzilla versus Kong, the New Empire?
Yeah. If I'm not incorrect, I believe a large portion, or at least a significant portion of this, revolves around doing some dental work on Kong.
Hell
and
yeah.
Yes.
I think it's just
Yeah.
at the beginning.
well, it felt like a long time. And then they augment Kong with some like cybernetic fist action.
Hell
and
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
at one
Mhm.
point he's whipping the spine of some like kaiju at a crazy ape.
Yes.
I'm gonna say this is S tier. Absolutely S tier.
I respect that.
Bonkers.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Like one of the worst scripts I've ever seen, but like it was so
Yeah.
so bonkers that I loved every second of it.
That's not. Yeah, but you don't go to these movies for the script.
S tier.
S tier. Hell yeah. Josiah?
This is crazy, but I am in agreement with Chad's here. Besides the first one, this is my favorite of all of the films that they've released. This one is actually like a lot of fun. They do so many wild things in this movie with King Kong and Godzilla, and there's like some pretty crazy sequences in this film. It's a good time.
There's gnarly evil apes, and they're keeping like good apes.
There's like
King
slave
Kong
apes
as
and
slaves.
stuff, and yeah.
It's wild.
There's actually a shot where there's like a bunch of baby apes in the background where they imply that Scar King was actually just like keeping a bunch of bitches up there in his lair with him.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That's
Yeah, I had way more fun with this movie than I should have. I did not expect to like it, but watching Godzilla give a German suplex to Kong in the middle of Egypt, right next to the pyramids, is pretty rad. This movie just completely owns the dumber the better, in the best way possible. And,
Yes.
and the gratuitous shot of Kong and Godzilla running next to each other at full speed, like a bunch of fucking track stars, pretty fucking good. It's S tier. Easy.
Also, that this movie has no idea how gravity works.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yep. So yeah, we got 1C, but I think we're just gonna put it in S tier.
I respect that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Godzilla versus Kong, just Godzilla versus Kong.
I'm gonna go B. So it was entertaining.
They designed Godzilla's new design after me.
In a lab.
My wife has connections in Hollywood. She said you need to make him look like Jesse. He's a sexual tyrannosaurus. Take that energy and put it into a Godzilla design. That's what they did for me, Ben.
Put it in B.
If you had ever served in the military, Ben, you would understand. I was a Navy SEAL. We worked out extra hard. My muscles were too big at one point. I couldn't fit into the helicopter. They had to carry me to Vietnam. Okay, what do you want to put this one?
A B.
Shit.
Why B?
Because I enjoyed it.
Nate?
I like this one better than the new Empire, and I think a lot of that has to do with the build-up. I mean, I wanted to see Godzilla fight Kong, like my whole life after watching King Kong versus Godzilla from 1962, and finally, like the actual outcome of the fight was what everybody wanted. I mean, Kong won in the 1962 one, and this movie takes a more realistic approach as to who would actually win. But then you also got the inclusion of Mechagodzilla in there. I think the soundtrack is awesome as well. The music works pretty well, especially with the intro sequence when they're going through what all these monsters have been up to at the start and all that shit. And yeah, it's certainly not an A. A lot of the human characters are garbage, and there was a lot cut out. Like there were characters from King of the Monsters that were filmed for this, and they cut that out. But the fights were great, and it was unlike anything I've ever seen before. Because before this, we saw Godzilla fight like some giant bugs, basically with the Mutos. Then there was the three-headed dragon in Ghidorah. But now this was like the first time we saw Monster vs. Godzilla fight an actual like monster that can stand and use his fists. And it was so brutal. I remember seeing it in the theater with a couple of friends, and we had a great time. So I'll say B.
Respect him. 2 Bs. Chaz?
Yeah, this movie did what it said on the package. Rather than like spending a bunch of time giving us a convoluted plot and stuff, they just showed King Kong and Godzilla fighting, which is all anybody ever wanted to see.
Yep.
S tier.
Let's fucking go.
And don't forget Mechagodzilla. Pretty sick.
Josiah?
All I gotta say is Hollow Earth. All right.
Yeah.
As a huge believer in Hollow Earth, a huge fan of Hollow Earth.
Was that first introduced in this movie?
I think so, right?
No, well,
Yes.
they first talk about it in Kong Skull Island.
Yeah.
But this is the first
No,
film
we
that you
get
see
to
it in.
see.
Oh
this
well,
one,
if that's this one, then
epic,
that's
bro. It's so good.
Yeah,
If
this is the
that's
first
this
time they
one-
journey there. Yeah.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
so awesome. I'm gonna give this an S tier.
I also might have to move it to S tier because I forgot that was this movie. I don't know why, but I thought it was a different one. Yeah, S tier.
Hell yeah.
Hell
I nicknamed my third ex-wife Hollow Earth, but not because of good things, for bad reasons. It was like gravity was completely upside down, if you know what I mean.
Shout out Avenue Studios for the raid too.
Hey,
Hey.
Avenue Studios, thank you.
What's
Thank
up,
you.
guys? Oh, great time to join. What's up, everybody? Godzilla versus Kong. Yeah, like Chaz said, this is exactly they did exactly what they said. There's a giant gorilla fighting a giant fucking fire nuclear lizard, and it was rad. I also love that Godzilla like literally kills King Kong in this movie, like
Yep.
straight up just murders him.
Pretty much.
And then Mechagodzilla shows up, and like Godzilla could have fought him, but they were like, it was obvious they needed to give Kong something else to do instead of like lie there like a bitch. So he like gets up and uses Godzilla's like ancestors' body parts as a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. So yeah, I'm gonna give it an S tier as well.
This movie played a big part in bringing theaters back at the time too, because this was 2021, and I think it was Adam Wingard, the director. I remember he was real happy about being able to do that for theaters, so it was pretty great.
Yeah.
Because at the time they were still like putting caution tape over the theater seats and shit. It was,
yeah.
it was crazy.
Stupid.
We got
shit.
2 S tiers.
Yeah.
It's not an S plus because Nate gave it a C or B.
I gave it a
You
B.
gave it a B.
So did Ben, didn't he? Or no, you changed it.
Ben
That's right, you
changed it.
changed
He
it.
changed
Right.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it deserves that B for cutting everything out of it.
Monarch: Legacy of Monsters.
I did not watch this.
Damn it, Ben.
It's a TV show.
Did anybody else on the panel besides Nate watch this?
I have not seen it.
I watched 1 episode of it, and I didn't remember what happened. So, Nate, technically, you're the only one that can vote on this.
I did like the casting. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Kurt Russell in it, right?
Oh yeah,
Kurt
he's
Russell
good.
and
at
his
it.
son.
And
he
Wyatt
plays, like,
playing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
like the older version.
it's got some good concepts like that, for example. But there's a lot of gay shit. There's a lot of beta males and like barely any monsters like they promised. So I don't know. I'd give it a D. There's some shit in here that I just really don't like.
A D?
Yeah, it's not that good, but
Man.
it's got good ideas. Like there's actually a character in there that's got like 2 separate families, like one in Japan and one in America. But it didn't really like end.
Why
very
is that one of your good ideas?
well, but because it's interesting, not because it's morally good, Mike.
Secret
I was
Japanese
like, yeah.
family. Yeah.
One of the best ideas ever was this guy started a fake family in Japan.
Yeah, it reminds me of myself with my fake family that I have out in fucking Albuquerque. Sure. Yeah, it's not a very good show. There's a cool fight at the end, and there's some. pretty things
I
to look
visited
at.
Albuquerque once. I set up a silo there full of corn tortillas. I have dead drops across the continental United States in case things go sideways. I could travel across all 50 states and have plenty of food, potable water.
Thanks.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, I guess it gets to the D, yeah.
I have an entire warehouse full of old Playboys. They burn exceptionally well, and it gives me something to read. They have excellent articles. Nobody else saw this, so we're not even gonna. It's gonna be in D. Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Ben, what did you think about this movie?
Yeah, I got everything that I came for in this movie. So
You came watching this movie.
I mean,
Sure did.
yeah, S tier.
That's crazy, dude.
That's pretty gay, dude.
Bro, this is a
Nate?
straight up monster smash showdown. I love it. It's so good.
Oh man. Yeah, the story with the creation of this thing was right after 2014 came out. It was so successful they immediately announced a sequel to come out 2 years later, again with Gareth Edwards. And then he took the deal to go direct Rogue One, which delayed the movie another 2 years. Then it got delayed another year, so it took like 5 years for this to finally come out. And it ended up being a comedy-filled, like, I don't know, like it was a spectacle. But gonorrhea, what are we doing? Everything about this movie, it's just they didn't know what direction they wanted to take. Like, you had cool monsters, you had a lot of the classic monsters come that were promised and all that, but again, I think the comedy ruins it, and I don't really think we needed to follow Millie Bobby Brown in a film like this. So I'm gonna put this C because I liked it less than Godzilla vs. Kong.
Damn. Chaz?
Oh, sorry. Before one more thing though, one thing
Yeah.
that is cool is Bear McCreary's soundtrack because he got the rights to the actual original themes and he kicked ass with that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Super talented dude.
Mhm.
I fought a bear once.
Damn it, Mike.
Yeah, I'm gonna say S tier for this because it's got
Ugh.
Godzilla in it, and that's pretty awesome.
And it's got Ghidorah in it.
It
So,
sure does.
Yeah. There's
It's got
some
gonorrhea
shot.
in
There
it.
are some shots in this movie,
And
like Ghidorah's silhouette, which is just incredible. I mean,
I enjoyed watching Millie Bobby Brown's family die. So S tier.
you're right. That was pretty great.
Mhm.
Oh, I saw some of the visuals in this movie are outstanding.
Yeah.
Josiah?
Yeah, I think that this one was a bit of a step down from the first one, so I'm gonna give it an A. I still really enjoyed it, had a good time with it. It's just not quite as good as some of the other ones, so A.
You guys ever wish you could talk to moths?
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be sick. Yeah.
Gandalf did it. Look what it did. Yeah, it worked out really
Yeah.
great for him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this movie an S. It's stupid as shit, and the ending is wild. Godzilla just gets like radiation powers, but like not like his breath weapon. He just can like shit out radiation from his entire body.
Yeah,
in
that's
like
that's
massive swaths. And
that's
apparently
what's-
that doesn't kill anybody around him, but it definitely will. In like maybe a
that's-
year.
that
Like
is
maybe
his,
a full.
That's his
full
burning
calendar
Godzilla form.
Yeah. He's just, they're just like, that's radiation. He's leaking out of his entire fucking body right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although I don't understand how that works because Mothra was like basically disintegrated, and then she like rained her molecules onto Godzilla, and that's what gives him the ability to do that. So like she has to die for that to happen.
Yeah.
That's really weird. What if she
Yeah.
dies over there? How is he
gotta
gonna?
you gotta kill a moth to make a Godzilla.
This
Does he
shit
go
is-
over there and he just sucks her like body up? I don't get it.
sucks her. Mm.
He would need to go over there and roll in it.
Yeah. And technically they are, as far as I understand, they are confirmed to be lovers.
Yeah.
symbiotic relationship.
That giant
Hell
lizard had
yeah.
sex with a giant moth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Said, I'm gonna fuck that moth, bro.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With my Godzilla,
respect that.
my
Mhm.
lizard wiener.
Good for him.
And
Then he got
because
a new
of
one,
that,
a new empire.
it's an S tier. Also, what's his name?
Ghidorah?
Ghidorah?
Ghidorah.
Ghidorah. I always thought had one of the coolest monster designs, but
Yeah.
he is a fuck in this movie, dude. He is a piece
Mhm.
of shit, and I love it. They're like they hype him up, but he's just kind of like all the like heads are like assholes to like
There's
Godzilla.
Ghidorah right there.
Yeah, that was pretty rad. I dug it. I just wish that he could have been like a big lead up in there. Just like Godzilla, like in Kong, their biggest threat is like a fucking ape riding like an ice lizard.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know,
like,
man.
wow,
That's-
I didn't like
you
Scar
went from a
King.
giant like alien from three-headed alien dragon from space to an ice lizard. That's cool.
bro, I just
Yeah,
don't
but he
think
was
did it
really
right.
mean to those other apes.
That's true. He was very mean to the right. So.
He's so mean.
Still
we're just
can't
gonna
get
leave
over
it
how
S
good the
tier.
visuals are in this movie. They're
Kong
so
can
good.
pick him up with one
Kong
arm.
Skull Island. Ben?
I think King Kong is kind of a pussy. So put it
Holy
B.
shit.
What's the reasoning?
Holy shit.
I just said that to make Josiah mad. This movie, this movie's actually pretty good. I'd go A for this one. That's my actual answer. Sorry.
So you're just joking about saying that about King Kong?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay,
I am
alright.
joking. I am joking.
Holy
about that. I'm
crap.
sorry. I
Kong's like throwing himself at all this danger. and Ben's like,
I know
"Motherfucker."
Josiah loves King Kong, so I had to say that. I'm sorry. That was mean. That was a rage bait right there.
Bro, I was
Nate,
about
what did you
to
think about Kong
start
Skull
warming up the
Island,
car.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
Over to your house now.
with all the stuff I said about Skull Island earlier, I think their version of Skull Island could have been better. And there's also there's some comedy and goofiness in this that I didn't think fit very well. So I'd put it on the level of Godzilla 2014. I'd probably just put it in B.
All right.
Okay.
Chaz?
I kind of love this movie, and I love this movie because they could have easily have made it like in modern times, but instead they decided they were going to make it a period piece, and so it's kind of
Yeah.
like Vietnam era,
Mhm.
which is brilliant. It's very cool. It's got Sam Jack. You got to love
Yep.
that. S tier.
Hell yeah. Josiah?
That's also
Yeah,
a sick
I'll-
poster.
I was gonna say Samuel L. Jackson. That's all I gotta say.
Tom Hiddleston
Here.
is in this one too.
Mhm.
Tom Hiddleston the goat.
Yeah.
He's great.
You know, fun
Could
fact.
not
But
wait
there's
to
also
mention Tom
Samuel L.
Hiddleston.
Jackson.
Well, yeah.
What's
movie about a
interesting
giant ape.
But
and
we
Samuel
know
L. Jackson.
we know
He's
of
like,
course that Ben's like, well, we got to give it to the white guy. We gotta
Whoa,
prop up the
whoa.
white guy here. We can't.
Whoa.
Tom
I just
Hiddleston,
don't-
bro.
I just don't
Which, by
understand
the
why
way,
they
isn't
made
he
that monkey
British?
have such
Didn't
dark
you say that
hair.
didn't you say that you hate all modern British people and stuff? Isn't he British?
Yeah, but he's a
You
good
just
actor.
called him the goat.
Ooh.
He's a
I
good
don't know.
actor.
I don't
Interesting.
understand why they couldn't have made the ape white. He could have been an albino. King Kong has very dark fur indeed.
That's great.
S tier.
Yeah. By the way,
Yeah.
though, Kyle Chandler, he was in the 2005 Kong movie, and he's also in Godzilla versus Kong. So it's
Yeah.
interesting that he's in these two different Kong movies in two different universes.
Yeah. This movie is fine. I didn't love this movie as much as the other guys did on the panel. I just barely remember a lot of it. I think the thing I remember the most was like they were in like a bamboo forest. And there's like a bunch of like bamboo spiders that like step on people, and I was like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, okay, all right, cool
Good time.
beans. That's a thing that happened.
I got that spider on the top shelf up there.
Really?
Look at that. Nate's got the hookup.
All right.
So
Nate, you want to show that off there for a second?
I'm gonna give it an A. I'm just gonna give it an A.
Yeah. Let me go grab that.
So yeah, but overall, you guys really liked it. We'll just put it in S.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Godzilla, 2014. Ben,
Mm-hmm. S.
okay.
Short and sweet. Okay.
Short
I'm not
and
gonna
sweet,
say
baby.
any more about it to give Nate a little
No,
bit
I
of time.
just, I think
his
the
fucking
cast
model.
Is, the cast is good.
There it is.
The human characters were actually like,
Yo,
Dude.
look at
that's
that.
pretty sick.
Dude,
That's
Yeah.
that's
pretty sick.
awesome.
Yeah, what's
Wow.
interesting about these are made by Lannard, so this was like a cheap kind of like company that was making stuff for Walmart at the time. These designs I think are based on early concept art, so this is not the final design for the bamboo spider,
Oh,
but it is
I was gonna
close.
say it looks a little different, but
Yeah, it's not the exact design, and you do have Tom Hiddleston in that truck there too.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That makes Ben
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, so these
W,
were nice
Tom.
and cheap collectibles, but they were still cool. I got a bunch more Kong Skull Island stuff up there too. It's off screen.
Nice.
Anyway, I was gonna say, yeah, the cast is good. I think it's semi-decent human characters. I like the lack of Godzilla actually, because I think it makes him really effective. This one actually did kind of feel like a little bit more of a horror movie until they merged. Don't get me wrong, I love the creature spectacle and the fighting with the monsters, but I did kind of like how they used Godzilla in this movie as well. So thought it was pretty sick.
Nice.
Boom.
Nate.
Yeah, I can appreciate them saving Godzilla and stuff. But again, when we go back to all these leaked rumors and stuff going around the San Diego Comic-Con trailers that were being shown, people were all talking about this fight between Godzilla and this other monster, this mysterious like bug thing that people couldn't take pictures of, but they were drawing. Like, what does this actually look like? And when the movie came out, we were all looking forward to seeing this fight. And what do? They cut away to this kid sleeping on the couch, seeing it on the news. So shit like that really bothered me. And I think there should have been a little bit more screen time of Godzilla in this film. Maybe not too much, because I get the vibe they were going for, and I get what you're saying, Ben. But I think they kept him away from the screen a little too much. Also, Bryan Cranston's early death was a freaking crime, because he was all over the campaign, like the advertisement campaign, as like a protagonist, basically. I remember I did some colored pencil fan art because I was like 16 at the time, and I put Bryan Cranston in the middle, because why would I not think he's the main character after all these trailers? And I don't know, it was surreal when that happened. And then Aaron Taylor Johnson's performance was not really up to par compared to Bryan Cranston. So I don't know, I like the movie. I'll give it a B. It wasn't terrible, and there's a lot of good in there.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Chaz?
Yeah, I kind of respect that they pulled a bait and switch. That's ballsy, especially with like Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
And I liked that the film kind of restored the analog that Godzilla is kind of a nuclear holocaust, and
Mhm.
that the fear of Godzilla is the fear that Japan still holds for the atomic bomb, and I think they handled that pretty well, especially with like some of the core meltdown stuff. So I'm gonna say S.
Oh yeah, respect that.
Mhm.
Josiah.
Yeah, this is my favorite of the entire franchise. I love the balance, and I think that they actually did a fairly decent job with the humans. Out of all the films, this one has the best handling of the human side of the story of Godzilla or whatever. Yeah, Godzilla, when he shows up, it is an incredible moment. Like whenever you see him start to show himself more on screen, you just like it's like amazing. It's awesome. So I'm gonna give this an S.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I love this movie. I think it's awesome. It was freaking rad, and I agree. I was surprised at how long they waited to reveal Godzilla, but they build that shit up so good. And yeah, when I saw it in the theater, the entire theater shook the first footstep that happened, dude. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
They made him huge, and I love that they actually worked on scale in a really cool, healthy way in this movie. Bryan Cranston dying was a surprise, but then I kind of got it once Godzilla showed up. And then his reveal was pretty fucking rad. My one knock is I don't like the Mutos very much, but honestly, it's not like that big of a deal. And watching Godzilla use his atomic breath for the first time, one of the coolest moments like in like my cinematic memories. There's some really cool scenes in films. That one is definitely up there, bro, because Godzilla was sick of their shit. And I was like, yeah. Chaz, you're muted.
Oh, I was gonna say just the lighting alone in that scene
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah, you just see like Aaron Taylor Johnson just like laying there, and you just see like his face kind of light up blue, and then that crackling starts and shit, dude. I was like, holy crap,
so good.
Yeah, dude, I got to see that movie in IMAX. That was a pretty great moment because
although I will say,
blue, we all knew what was about to happen.
Yeah,
the first time, like when Godzilla uses his atomic breath in Godzilla -1, I think that might be the best they've ever done it in a movie.
They got creative with that one. They turned his atomic breath into a nuke.
Yeah,
that was
it's
pretty good
sick.
Also, just funny thing, Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen are in this movie.
Yep.
As husband and wife.
Yeah.
And then earlier that year, we're brother and sister in a Marvel film.
True.
Pretty weird stuff. S tier. All right, here's the thing. Now we have 2 more rankings to go. All of these are S tier.
Yeah.
They're all not S plus tier by 1. So you still have an opportunity, chat. If any of these you need to go into S plus, just gotta send in a super chat. Okay.
I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean, this shows you the cinematic spectacle of Godzilla.
Yeah.
And King Kong.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that for the most part, Legendary Pictures kind of knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Except for that second Pacific Rim movie that sucked balls.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Oh man.
Especially after the first movie, that was such a letdown.
And
everything about it.
And they can prove that by making a cool crossover movie. If anyone's listening,
it's
not too late. You can do it. You can do it right now.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
I respect it.
The rumor is that Space Godzilla is the villain for the next one, so they're already doing space stuff. Just do alternate dimension stuff.
I hope so.
Well, then it's time to rank these movies on your channel, pal. Because we are the definitive experts.
Definitive
Tier lists. We're experts.
Yep.
Experts, Bob.
We examine everything very scientifically. All right. That's
objectively. Scientifically. Listen, we don't have to. We can just fucking put this up here. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then Blade.
I mean,
I don't know. You know,
S plus Godzilla movie right there.
I feel like we're doing a better job with Blade. I just don't feel like you guys have really quite earned that top spot with him.
True.
You know?
I mean, Legendary Scrub did send in a $20
He did.
super chat.
He did.
Thank you for that,
A
Legendary Scrub.
$20 super chat.
Said Mickey, Barney, and Blade S+.
$20.
Fine.
20
I'm only doing it.
hard-earned dollars.
I'm only doing it because I like
Mhm.
you. Ben, can you read the rest of the super chats?
Yeah. Johnny's for $2 says, will Meek run a tier list while still in this mode?
No, I couldn't keep that up for an entire.
Thank you for that super chat. Real Grey Ghost for $20 says, I don't care if she has worse takes than Ben. Replace Ben with his sister now. I don't care if he spent 4K hours in Star Citizen. Thank you for that super chat. And in your dreams, buddy.
We're working
Thank you.
on it. All right.
Thank you,
We're
that's
working
super
on
chat.
it. All right.
She doesn't even play video games with me. So
Well,
just
you,
so I
don't,
know,
you
that
barely
one's true.
play video games with me anyway. So
That's
like,
not even true. I play games when I can stay awake. And even then, I
wild.
still have a hard time doing that.
It's pretty wild, man. I play video
Thank
games
you for
with
that
my
super
sister all
chat.
the time.
Thank you for that super chat. We read this one. Legendary Scrub, thank you again for that $20. Johnny's for $2 says, our tier master, Meek, the Sugarfoot Ventura. Thank you for that super chat. Heistman's 9860 member for 10 months says, does EpicVerse have any plans for this year? Will you release movies from the movie theater? And will EV do old school
EpicVerse.
filming? EpicVerse do old school filming line in old film? Like an old
by the way,
film.
thank you for being a member for 10 months. That's
Yes, thank you,
awesome.
Iceman.
Thank you.
Yeah, we actually are just about to get a massive equipment upgrade for us here at EpicVerse that is going to help speed along some of the stuff that we're doing, which we are very excited about. And yeah, so I mean, a lot of this year is probably going to be a lot of finishing up the projects that we've been working on and stuff, and working on a pretty major project that we've already kind of announced it a little bit, but it's something that we're doing with Drunk 3PO and stuff. So that's going to be a big thing for us for this year. And as far as will you release movies from the movie theaters, I mean, that's kind of part of our plan for some of our feature length stuff. So we'll see how it goes. So
Yep. Boom. Thank you. Ben, are you
Yeah.
gonna keep reading?
I'm waiting for the next super chat. War Wizard 7 for
okay.
199.
It's Josiah's fault
I was
now.
gonna see if Chaz wanted to add anything to that too.
Oh.
So
No, just that we're super excited to kind of get stuff out there so that
Yeah.
you can see it.
yeah,
Absolutely.
a big part of our of what we've been waiting on is we're trying to get a pretty massive equipment piece that's going to be very helpful for us. So
Absolutely.
once we get that, we'll be rocking and rolling. So yeah.
War Wizard 7 for $2 says Rebirth of Mothra 1, 2, and 3, all S tier.
I actually
Thank
haven't
you for
seen
that
those.
super chat.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, Mike will add them to the list, guys. Don't worry.
Will I?
They aren't part of the Monsterverse. Harbinger 9446 for £5 says Meek has atomic breath from his south mouth.
Banned.
That's crazy. Thank you for that super chat.
Fuck.
That is wild.
That is wild.
All right, and we are all caught up there. So, this is I mean, look, these movies are all bangers. All right, that's
bangers.
all that we can confirm here tonight. Basically cinematic masterpieces in every way possible. So,
Yeah. Yep.
Factual.
So
There it
you
is.
go.
Definitive.
One of the greatest franchises of all time, right
Of
there.
all time. Hands down.
So with all that being said, Nate, what do you have going on?
Oh man, come check out Assassin's Creed Savage Industry on my channel if you haven't. It's a 3-year-long project. It's a fan film. It's got some voice actors that you guys might be familiar with, Beardo and X-Wing, and also the comic book series that I made, which takes place before that, is now on my DeviantArt, which is just deviantart.com/hoodblade. All 5 of the comics are on there if anybody wants to catch up on that storyline, which leads up to the cartoon. So things might make a little more sense in the cartoon if you read through those. Just keep in mind, I started these when I was in high school about 11 years ago or so. So they'll improve as you go along.
Boom.
There you
Yeah.
go, man. Hell yeah.
W.
Chaz.
You can check me out on X as usual. Hopefully I'll get a couple things out on my YouTube channel, and you can check me out on Criticalist.
Oh yeah, follow my X too at Hoodblades. I keep forgetting to plug that.
Ben,
what are you plugging?
Yeah, well, you know what? What am I plugging is a loaded question. Yeah, you can find me a lot of places.
Good night, everyone.
Like here. But yeah, if you guys ever want to, I'm not even gonna. No, that's it. That's all I got. I'll be live again.
Butt
Here.
plugs.
What
that's
is
all you got.
it? What did you have? I didn't hear you say anything.
I'm not. No.
Oh my god.
No. Follow me on X. Follow me here. And if you want to fight with me on the internet, that's fine. You can fight me.
All right.
Fight you or find you?
Fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Is that what you said?
Whoa.
That's what I didn't. That was a little
I
weird.
didn't say that.
Mike, what do you got going on?
See, your soft approach to life is why I know you weren't a Navy SEAL. It's why you'll always live in the continental United States. Maybe one day you'll find the secret recipe for making corn tortillas, but you won't have any portable water and you'll die.
Wow.
That's right.
That's
I was the
incredible.
governor of Minnesota.
That was incredible.
Mhm.
Wow. Thanks, Mike.
Is that all? Is that all that you're gonna plug?
What else
Mike?
do you? Why don't you tell me?
Well, I don't know.
Why
Shout out
don't you
9/11,
tell
I
me?
guess.
If you're such a patriot, why don't you tell me what happened to Tower 7?
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
Fuck.
So you see, you're not listening. You know, you have a fluid imbalance in your ears because you're drinking poisoned water. The continental United States has poison in its water supply.
Hey, my well water is very clean. Okay, I tested it. All right.
Well, you obviously didn't buy one of my test kits because you would have known. Ben, you need to go on a strict diet of corn tortillas and potable water. And then maybe
right,
the
guys.
fluid will balance in your ears better to hear me.
I can't, bro.
We are out.
It was obvious you never served in the military.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for watching this disaster.
Yeah, you might have to start
We
or
love you
end the
guys.
stream the same way you started it and just press the button.
You guys are awesome. We appreciate each and every one of you. Ben
Go-
only
go-
appreciates the white ones that are in the chat. But
Go
that's
out
okay.
and go out and salute a Navy SEAL today.
Salute them all, guys. Salute them all. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. We'll be back next week.
Wait,
Until
somebody
then-
said member message?
Oh,
You guys missed
oh,
the member message.
oh,
Oh.
oh, yes, we did. Look at that.
Legendary Scrub
I'll
member
read
for
it.
2 months.
I'll read it, Ben. You obviously don't care about our audience. Legendary Scrub member for 2 months says 3 hours in, and all you guys did was talk topics and tier lists. I'm out. See, that's how I know you never served in the military. A real Navy SEAL would never give up. That was I actually invented that logo, and I invented that motto for the Navy SEALs because they said that
checks
he
out.
never gives up no matter what.
Never.
He
gives
never
up.
does. They said no matter what we tell him, he never gives up. No matter
mean
how
him-
much evidence we present to him, he never gives up on his theories.
Right.
But I've never been wrong.
Never
Even
back
if you're
down,
getting
never
fucked
won.
in the ass, never give up, guys.
I tried to unionize the
Navy SEALs.
WWF,
All
but
right.
Hulk Hogan stopped me.
We appreciate you all.
We're
Hulk
hindering
Hogan says
we-
he's
we
a
are-
real
Love you.
patriot, but he sold you bad beer.
Go get some pizza or something, guys.
Good
All right?
night.
And we'll catch you all in the next one.
Goodbye.
We love pineapple around here. Have a
That's
good
right.
night. And onions. Put them
I
all
could-
on the pizza.
I could have
and onions on
unionized
a
the
pizza.
WWF.
Put it on there. Put it on there, guys.
But Hogan betrayed
right?
me. But Hogan
Suck on those
Hogan
onions.
betrayed
Bye.
me because he's Two-Face. That's why he never ran
Bye,
for
everybody.
office.
Out of the ocean.